Well, hello everyone. So, people wanted to know my Trevenant set that I've been using in my most recent Pokemon Showdown session, and I'm gonna give you guys that in detail. This is something I came up with. I didn't use any guide or whatever. For the sake of originality, I'm gonna call this set the B Tree. The B Tree. This will be known as the B Tree from now on until infinity. What it is basically if you're not familiar with my Showdown session I did, it is a substitute leech seeding cursing harvest with citrus berry Trevenant. And what you want to do is sub leech seed shenanigans. You can harvest your citrus berry, which heals you a fourth of your max HP when at half max HP or less. So after two substitutes, it'll activate with this particular EV spread, I'm pretty sure. And then what you can do is get some leech seed going on, get some passive recovery with citrus berry, and it'll constantly harvest. What makes this really annoying though and really dangerous is Curse. Curse, if you're not familiar with how it works on ghost types, it halves your HP and puts a curse on the opponent, which takes away a fourth of their HP per turn, which is incredibly useful. Pretty much stops any kind of sweeper cold. And even walls won't like it, especially in conjunction with the leech seed. You should be wary of using Curse immediately though, because Curse can get you in a bad spot. It could put a curse on something but put you at too low of HP, so you want to reserve it for when you have leech seed up and definitely can get the boost from a berry. You don't want to use it when you haven't harvested a citrus berry, so you want to use it in conjunction with leech seed for the most effect. Or if as like just a last ditch suicide run, you want to use Curse and just go from there. Because it'll put a curse on the opponent, suicide you, and you get a free switch into something of your choice. But the EVs are not too complex. I have 252 HP, which, like I said, after two subs, your harvest, your citrus berry will activate. So if you want to change that to maybe give it like a different HP number so that after two you're at 51%, I'm pretty sure this is 50% though. Because it is an even number. If you want to change it to an odd number, though, you can, and put another EV in defense. I have 116 speed EVs to outspeed some of the faster walls that don't invest in speed, like Politoed in particular. Politoed usually will switch out, but some are very defensive and brave, and they might actually expect this set now. So you want to have enough speed to outspeed them, and just by 1 point, because Trevenant's pretty slow. It's kind of a waste to invest fully in speed. Trevenant naturally has higher base special defense, so to kind of even that out, I invest in defense because it's a ghost type as well. Taking physical hits like Earthquake and like rock attacks or whatever, any kind of like physical attack you can handle with this EV spread, and special attacks you can handle water and all that good stuff pretty easily. And Shadow Claw is your last move, which is just really filler. You don't want to have something like Wood Hammers. You don't want to have a grass move, because a grass move will pretty much make you a sitting duck towards grass type Pokemon or Pokemon with Sap Sipper. Although most Pokemon with Sap Sipper do also carry the normal type. That's what Curse is for. Curse still affects them. So with this set, you can hit pretty much anything with a move, whether that be Shadow Claw, Curse, or Leech Seed. And since Trevenant has such a high base attack, naturally you don't really need to invest in it. I mean, you can and not invest in defense, but getting and keeping subs up is more important in my opinion. So I invest in defense. But that's pretty much the sets. Again, this is known as the B Tree. This is how it is spelled. Bam, look at that, the B Tree. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this set. I will come up with more sets in the future if you guys like this sort of thing. Just give this video a like rating and let me know in the comments, and more sets will be on the way very soon. These will be especially helpful since Smogon hasn't put any sets up yet. So just let me know if you guys want to see more, and I'm out of here. Peace. Well, hello everyone, it is I, NBT, and I'm bringing you another Pokemon set. If you guys would like to see one of these a day, just like this video. If this gets 2,000 likes, I will do another set immediately tomorrow, the next day. because I have a lot of sets cooked up in my own noggin, and I want to share them with you guys. But today is a very special set. This is a very dangerous set, a very unexpected set. Maybe not after I reveal it, but still, Mega T-Tar is terrifying with this particular set, and I'll tell you why. Now, Mega T-Tar has tremendous bulk, but I would not use it as a bulky Pokemon. I'd use regular T-Tar for that because it has leftovers. What I would use Mega T-Tar for is for its ridiculous base 164 attack, its boost to defenses, and its incredible speed buff, which, while not much on the surface, it's only base 71, it helps it outspeed a lot of things because T-Tar gets a thing back from Gen 3 called Dragon Dance, and Dragon Dance, of course, boosts your attack and speed. With base 71 speed and 265 full investment, one Dragon Dance will put you at 397 speed, 398 speed, somewhere in that ballpark, and you'll be able to outspeed base 130s, which is pretty much the fastest base speed in the OU tier. This will allow you to outspeed dangerous things like Shadow Tag Mega Gengar, for instance. But if you get 2 boosts under your belt, that's pretty much GG. This thing is so bulky if you invest in HP instead of attack, because its base attack with no investment is 364. If you invest fully in HP, with its incredible base 150 defense and 120 special defense, you can live a Choice Band Scissors Bullet Punch easily. Super easily, in fact. It's a 2-hit KO, but it does max like 66%, so you can, Dragon Dance, if somebody switches in a Scissor, Fire Punch it, dead, and then sweep from there. It's a relatively simple set, but it is incredibly dangerous, incredibly bulky, incredibly powerful, and since you're boosting its only like low stat, incredibly dangerous. I think the only thing that can take a hit from this thing at +1 is Skarmory or maybe Hippowdon. But really, if those things are weakened and you're at +2, I'm pretty sure you just punch right through them and kill them. This thing is dangerous. Give it a whirl, give it a shot. I've used it to great effect so far. You can set up in things like Latios or Latias's face. Basically anything that's any kind of wall too. As long as they don't have Toxic or they don't Toxic on that turn, you can set up all day. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, 2,000 like ratings, and I will get you one of these tomorrow. Let me know in the comments as well, like what you want to see, like which Pokemon you want to see me do a set for, because I've made many sets so far, and before Smogon releases them, I think this would be very beneficial to the battling community if I just release some sets for you guys to use. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Moveset video. I'm your host, NBT, and I want to ask you guys if you could please rate this video, because if it gets 2,000 like ratings, I will do another set for you tomorrow. This set right here is a set that I came up with pretty much the first time I battled. This was actually one of my first teams I made, or this thing is on one of the first teams I made for 6th gen. And it's a Klefki. Klefki is a very bizarre Pokemon in that it gets Prankster. It's got a very unique typing in Fairy and Steel, and it's a lot of people use it for like suicide spike leads, or just to set up entry hazards or to torment or whatever, because it does get Prankster and spikes are very useful. But I used something a little bit more unexpected, a little bit more offensive. I used a Calm Minds Rest Talk single attack set. Dazzling Gleam is the most powerful fairy attack it gets. Unfortunately, it does not get Moonblast, which would be preferable because it has more PP as well. But Dazzling Gleam definitely gets the job done. This set is actually incredibly hard to take down, just because it's good defensively. The base 58 HP isn't that great, but if you invest fully into the HP, fully into the defense, then you will have no trouble taking any kind of neutral physical attack. But what makes this set so dangerous is the priority Calm Mind, the priority Rest, and the priority Sleep Talk. You can rest on one turn, Sleep Talk the next since you're faster automatically, and then Dazzling Gleam for a kill. just something like that. You know, you don't really see that on a lot of bulky stuff. The ability to use priority status moves or whatever, or non-attacking moves. It's this set is very dangerous. Of course, you will need some support. Klefki is weak to fire and ground, so you want things that can either take those moves or deal with those Pokemon. Steel types are also a problem, but not a huge problem unless they're like Heatran or maybe Metagross. So you might want to run like a speedier Magnezone or something to get some damage on them or whatever. But yeah, Klefki with 2 or 3 Calm Minds under its belt does not give a shit pretty much what you throw at it unless it's a fire or a ground attack. So after you take care of those 2 types, you're pretty much good to go. This thing is very, very dangerous. If anyone's ever used a Calm Mind Spiritomb, it's very similar, except that you maintain pretty much the same level of bulk here, but you get priority on your your non-attacking moves with Prankster. So give it a try. It's a little unexpected, and since people don't expect it, I think that's what makes it really effective. Of course, they'll probably expect it now that I'm making a video on it. But in my time using it, I found it to be an effective set in the, I guess, what's called the OU metagame right now. And anyway, use it. Let me know how it does. And if you guys want to see another, one of these moveset videos, just get this to 2,000 like ratings. If it's got 2,000 ratings by tomorrow, I will do another one tomorrow. And as always, leave suggestions for which Pokemon you want me to cover in the future. It might take me a while to get to them, but I will get to them, the most requested or whatever. I'll try to get to them first. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give this set a try. It's pretty awesome. I'll see you later. Peace. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode, another edition of Pokemon X and Y competitive movesets. I'm your host, Not Blame Truth, and if you guys would give this video 2,000 like ratings, I will post another episode of this tomorrow, another moveset tomorrow for you. Anyway, though, you guys have been requesting a few Mega Pokemon movesets, particularly Mega Aggron and Mega like Venusaur, Mega Blastoise and stuff. I can't really find very good sets for those yet. I have one lined up for Blastoise, but the other 2 are a little bit harder to build around. This set, however, this Mega Pinsir set is absolutely terrifying. Pinsir's always been one of my favorite Pokemon. It's really, I don't know, it's always been really cool. And I always felt that Heracross being its counterpart was better because it had a secondary fighting typing, a better bug stab move with Mega Horn, got stab on close combat. It was just a better choice overall. But here comes Mega Pinsir in the 6th gen, and it is terrifying. What makes this thing so terrifying is it gets this ability right here, Aerilate. Now, it doesn't say this on the simulator, and I don't know if this is actually coded in yet into the simulator, but Smogon has confirmed that not only does this change normal moves to flying moves, but it boosts their power with a Life Orb boost. So it boosts it with 1.3 times power. So that means that Return here, after factoring in Aerilate, has 130 base power before stab, 134 base power before stab, I'm pretty sure. So essentially that is that's almost a 200 base power move coming off a base 155 attack. Pinsir got a nice little speed boost as well. It's not the fastest thing ever, but it's very much needed. And this is a very, very dangerous threat. Wow. Now, being a bug flying type, which is what this is, it's not the ideal type defensively, but the idea with this is to not get hit and just kill everything. If you know something's choiced and locked into a fighting move, you can come in, or even a ground move or whatever. But if you really, really, really want to bring the power, you can switch out Return for Double Edge, which will give it somewhere in the ballpark of, it's over 200, I know that. It's probably, geez, probably about 210, I don't know, I want to say 200, 210, 220, I don't know, I don't feel like doing math right now. But Double Edge will maim anything even if it resists it. Like, Double Edge will also kill you though, because you get 33% recoil. So I go with the almost as powerful, no recoil return, just to help with longevity. I have X-Scissor as, of course, you know, the designated bug stab move, and for your third move you can have, I don't know, Close Combat or Earthquake. I prefer Close Combat because it hits a lot of the same things as, or I prefer Earthquake, I should say, not Close Combat, sorry. I prefer Earthquake over Close Combat because it hits more things harder, at least in OU, like Metagross and Jirachi and Aegislash. That's a big thing. You can't hit Aegislash at all if you have Close Combat, and Heatran too. So I prefer Earthquake, plus you don't get the defense drops and stuff, which could save your life, because Pinsir does have a nice, I mean, it's got some nice defenses here, 120 and 90, which isn't bad. And then on the last slot, you can either have Swords Dance or Substitute. For the sake of this video, I'm going to do Swords Dance because boosting your attack to over 800 in one turn and having a almost 200 base power stab move to use is just, it's too awesome to pass up. But you can play around this. Before Pinsir Mega Evolves, you can actually equip, and I'll go to the regular Pinsir here. You can actually equip or put on Moxie, and if you want, you can come in on something like maybe a Ferrothorn, use Substitute, and then kill something as it comes in, get the Moxie boost, and then go Mega. Now, if you want to do that, I would recommend Substitute over Swords Dance, like I said. So that's a tactic as well. But the main thing you want to do with this is just realize that once you evolve into Mega Pinsir, you just want to spam your normal move, because that's flying is such a fantastic offensive type that even if something resists it, like a bulky electric type, like maybe a bulky Rotom Wash or a bulky Rotom Heat or whatever, you can still do, you know, reasonable damage with it. That's if you have Close Combat, that is. Like I said, Earthquake and Close Combat, it's your call what you want to use. But yeah, Substitute or Swords Dance as well in the last slot, and you have just an incredibly dangerous physical attacker. Pinsir Mega, I approve, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'm out of here though. Peace. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Pokemon X and Y moveset video with your host, the infamous BT, Not Plain Truth. And if you guys could, please rate this video. If this gets 2,000 likes by tomorrow, I will do another video, another moveset video tomorrow for you. But this is a very interesting little set here. I'm actually going to switch it over to Venusaur Mega, since you can't, you know, evolve it in the preview, and show you guys what it does. Now, Venusaur Mega, I was having trouble finding a good set for it, but I think I finally found one, because this set actually just dominated this dude. He wasn't using like OU whoring pokes, but you know, it's still a dangerous set, because it only has two weaknesses. It's bulky as hell and it's powerful as hell. This is a bulky physical sweeper in a sense, but it also has a lot of speed, a good amount of speed, and that is to outspeed things such as Heatran. Even though you have Thick Fat, which reduces the power of ice and fire attacks by 50%, effectively removing Venusaur's weakness to those moves. Even though you have that, you don't want to take a Fire Blast from a Heatran, so you have enough speed to do that, as well as outspeed something, you know, like Lucario and Chandelure. You can actually speed tie with. So, and you can actually run a little bit less if you want. You can maybe put this at 280 and put the rest in, like, I don't know, HP or something, just a little bit in HP. That wouldn't be a big deal, just but I run 284 just because I run 284. And the EVs, I mean, the last four can go in HP, special defense, doesn't really matter. But as you can see, Mega Venusaur is bulky as hell. 282 defense, 276 special defense, and thick fat. So I figured the best way to utilize this is to not go with some kind of chlorophyll sun sweeper like with the regular version, because that's harder to pull off anyway since weather isn't constant in the battle now. Instead, I wanted to make a bulky, just powerhouse sweeper, and I think I did that. We have Swords Dance as the boosting move, which, since Venusaur got an attack boost up to base 100, that's going to do some damage after one. Combine that with Power Whip, which is a 180 power move after stab, and Earthquake just for coverage against Steel types and Heatran especially, and Fire types and such, you're looking at a monster. Even things that resist Power Whip like other grass types, which I will show you here in this little demonstration, they pretty much fall to this Venusaur. I mean, I know Sceptile is the most bulky thing, but it still did a lot considering it's resisted. And outside from that, we have Synthesis, which heals you up if you get lower because you don't have leftovers, and weather is not as big of a factor anymore since it's not constant. So there's less weather. Weather doesn't last as long. Synthesis can be used now to relatively good effect. And that's pretty much it. It's a relatively simple set, but it hits like a truck, takes hits like a truck, and keeps on trucking. That's terrible. Alright, well anyway, if you guys enjoyed it, leave a like rating, and let me know if you want to see more, and I will see you guys later. Peace out. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another moveset video with yours truly, the infamous BT, and if you guys would give this a like rating, because if it gets 2,000 likes by tomorrow, I will do another moveset video tomorrow, so let's do that. But anyway, today we're going to be covering Mega Charizard X. Now, both Charizard Megas, I feel, are very good, and I feel both are going to be OU. As far as which one's better, it's hard to say because they both do different things. If you look at Charizard X's stats here, they're more balanced towards mixed attacking, and he got a type change to Fire Dragon. But we're going to forego the whole mixed attacking thing and just go straight for a set that would have worked on regular Charizard a lot better if it just had higher attack. And it definitely got that in the Charizard X form. Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance, it goes with Charizard X like peanut butter goes with jelly. In fact, I think it's now the best Dragon Dancer in the OU tier. It's even better than like Salamence or Dragonite because of its amazing typing, its amazing ability, and its fantastic speed. It has the same speed as Salamence, but since it's a Fire Dragon type, it only has 2 weaknesses, both of which are commonly carried on the same Pokemon with the Edgequake combo. So it's weak to Edgequake, it resists Electric, Grass, Steel, neutral to Ice, neutral to Water, which is a big thing, and really the only thing you have to watch out for is the Edgequake combo and status. Even though this Charizard can't carry a Life Orb, it gets the ability Tough Claws, which means that Dragon Claw and Fire Punch are going to be doing more damage. But you want to run max speed because it'll help you outspeed, or tie with Choice Scarf base 100s and outspeed anyone lower than that. And plus, if you get 2 under your belt, you're pretty much guaranteed a sweep at that point, unless some priority user like Talonflame or, I don't know, Extreme Speed Lucario or something can take you out. But yeah, so let's go over the moves and the alternate moves you can use and all that. First move we have up on the plate is Fire Punch, and the reason we run Fire Punch over Flare Blitz on this is because of A, rocks damage, B, lack of leftovers recovery, and C, we're not running Roost on this, we are instead running a coverage move in Earthquake. So yeah, Fire Punch is definitely, it hits hard after Tough Claws, it hits hard. It's kind of like an Iron Fist boost if you've ever used an Infernape with Fire Punch or something. So it's definitely nothing to sleep on. I think the base power reaches something like, I don't know, it reaches something like 120, 130, something like that. So it's not a weak move, and after Dragon Dance, it'll hurt anything that's weak to it, probably kill it, and it can even do very good damage to Skarmory. But if you really want to run Flare Blitz, you might want to consider running Roost over Earthquake, but then you're walled by Heatran, so that's a thing. But it's up to you. Next we have Dragon Claw, which is just a standard Dragon Stab move. I don't even think Charizard X gets Outrage, unfortunately. Oh, it does. But locking yourself into Outrage is not a good thing this generation. There's too many fairy types running around. You don't want to do that. So I would run Dragon Claw just for, Fire Dragon is excellent coverage in and of itself. And the only thing that can really resist that, I think, is Heatran and OU. So yeah, there's that. And then finally, here, this is where it gets kind of tricky. If you're running Flare Blitz, you might want to run Roost here, especially if you're running a more bulky Charizard Mega X set. But Earthquake is mainly just for Heatran, Tyranitar, something bulky like Tyranitar. What else? I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Electric types, you know, you want to hit harder than whatever. So yeah, it's definitely a good coverage move to have. Although if you're running Flare Blitz, like I said, you might want to run Roost. And another option is actually to run Thunder Punch just to counter the bulky Gyarados variants that can come in and intimidate you and take a hit. But it's pretty situational. That, and you can do more damage to bulky water types, but I prefer just wearing those down with your teammates and then sweeping with just, you know, Dragon Claw against the bulky water types. But here is a clip of this thing in action. As you can see, it's very good. It's not something to sleep on, and I think that personally it's the best Dragon Dancer in OU. Just because of its awesome typing, and Dragonite is good as well, you know, still obviously, and so is Salamence, but just because of this thing's typing and the fact that it's faster than Dragonite and ties with Salamence, I think it's the best. And so yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'm gonna peace out right now. If you guys enjoyed the video, rate it 2,000 ratings by tomorrow, and you'll get another video tomorrow of this. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another moveset video with yours truly, the infamous BT, and today I'm bringing you Mega Charizard Y. Here's something in the background, my girlfriend's playing GTA, so just ignore that. But anyway, if you guys could please give this a like rating. If this gets 2,000 likes, I will do another moveset video tomorrow. So 2,000 likes, do that, and I will do something for you. But anyway, Mega Charizard Y. There's really not much to be said about this thing. It is absolutely terrifying as far as special attackers go. Base 159, base 115 special defense, so you can take water attacks because of Drought weakening them. You can spam off solar beams as long as there's not another weather inducer. And you have two fantastic stab moves to work off of, as well as Roost to instantly heal you. You will want to run a Rapid Spinner though, because Charizard X is 4 times weak to Stealth Rock. I've actually heard there's a rumor that Stealth Rock got nerfed somewhat, and it does a maximum damage of 25%. So even if you're fire and flying, it'll only do 25. But I don't know if that's true or not. Don't quote me on that. It hasn't been tested thoroughly yet, so there's that. One thing that I could suggest doing differently is maybe running Sunny Day over Roost if you are running Rapid Spin support and you know hazards are not going to be up on the field when this thing, or even Defog support, since that removes hazards this gen. But you could actually run Sunny Day, and that way if like a Politoed comes in, you're not a sitting duck and you can use Solar Beam freely. So there's that. And another thing you might want to trade out is Air Slash for maybe Earthquake and run a different nature, like I think it's a Hasty Nature. Yeah, Hasty Nature. Put this last 4 EVs into attack, and you can run Earthquake instead just to take out Heatran. Heatran's a big wall to a lot of these Charizard sets, so Earthquake is definitely good to have. And that's really it though. Air Slash generally is going to be better in the long run, I think, and you can just run something that can switch into Heatran every time, like a Blissey. But yeah, that's the set. It's pretty simple, but incredibly effective. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm gonna peace out now. I'll see you later. Bye. Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another moveset video with yours truly, the infamous BT, finishing up the Mega Starters from Gen 1. If you guys would though, rate this with a like rating. If this gets 2,000 likes, I will do another one of these tomorrow. So 2,000 likes by tomorrow, we'll get you another moveset video. But today we're going to be covering Mega Blastoise, which I think design-wise is my favorite Mega Evolution of the 3 starters. It also gets a nifty new ability and a nifty new move pool. So let's just get on into it right here. It gets Mega Launcher, which boosts the power of Aura and Pulse moves by 50%. So naturally, you want to put some stuff that can take advantage of that on your moveset. First move up the bat is Aura Sphere. Now, Aura Sphere got weakened a smidgen this gen, but with the boost to Mega Launcher and with how good of a move it really is, I mean, a fighting move, special fighting move that never misses. Focus Blast sucks. You can take advantage of that very well and do some big damage to things. Aura Sphere with the boost from Mega Launcher makes it a 120 power move, so that's going to do a lot of damage. That's the same as Focus Blast, only with perfect accuracy. So you definitely want Aura Sphere on your Blastoise Mega, for sure. Next move is Ice Beam. Although it doesn't get a boost from Mega Launcher, it is necessary to hit the troublesome grass types that will switch into you, like, I don't know, Venusaur, Shaman, Celebi, etc., etc. Ice Beam is a must to hit those things hard and to do good damage to them. Next is a rarely seen but incredibly deadly move that I would recommend running, especially if you have a Politoed on your team and can get a boost from the rain, because this move, coming off a base 135 special attack stat, is incredibly powerful. It is incredibly powerful, especially in the rain, especially at full HP. Water Spout is an absolutely destructive move. If you want to use Water Spout, though, a word of advice, you want to use things that can give you free switches into Mega Blastoise, like Volt Turners, like maybe Rotom Wash, maybe Scissors, stuff that can U-turn and you can go into other things safely, like Blastoise Mega, so you don't take damage. You also want to run a Rapid Spinner, Starmie, Donphan, Fortress, etc., or even a Defogger, even if it means getting the hazards off of the enemy side of the field. You want them off your side of the field that much worse, because Water Spout will be at full power if you remain at full HP, and nothing will want to take a hit from a Water Spout, not even a Blissey. I think it takes like half in the rain from Blastoise here. So definitely, if you're gonna run Water Spout, get safe switch-ins and just do your thing. If not, if you don't want to run Water Spout, there's always Hydro Pump you can run, or even Hidden Power Grass just to break through Gastrodon. That is also an option. It's up to you. I prefer Water Spout though, just because it's unique, super freaking powerful, and awesome. In the event that Water Spout gets weakened, though, you get low enough on HP where it won't do as much damage, your backup water attack is Water Pulse. Now, this gets a boost from Mega Launcher, making it the same power as Surf, but with a 20% chance to confuse. So, again, if you're running Water Spout, you can also run Hydro Pump here, but I do not like Hydro Pump this gen. The power got lowered. The accuracy stayed the same, which is 80, and that's anything 80 I do not like unless it's Stone Edge. But if you want to run it, yeah, you can. But I prefer Water Pulse, because that 20% chance you're going to miss Hydro Pump, you're going to confuse, you're going to always hit and confuse with Water Pulse. So I say go with Water Pulse. You might get a lucky confusion and get 2-hit KO on something. But yeah, even Ferrothorn switching into Water Spout, even if it's not in the rain, I'm pretty sure with this EV spread, Aura Sphere takes Ferrothorn out like it's nothing. So just 252. I actually need to fix these IVs because I had like Hidden Power or something on there. But yeah, 252 speed, 252 special attack, plus or 4 in HP or defense or special defense. Really doesn't matter. I just put it in HP if the defenses are pretty much equal, and it's not weak to rocks or whatever. And that's pretty much the set. It's a bulky, very dangerous wall breaker, pretty much. Mega Blastoise, I approve. Its speed is a little disheartening, but if you run Jolly, or Timid I should say, Timid, max special attack, max speed, you can outspeed, you know, the base, I think it's base 90 uninvested speed tier, like Adamant Lucario, for instance. So yeah, Timid, and plus you're going to outspeed stuff before you take a hit, and you can Water Spout and do maximum damage. So that is my Mega Blastoise set. Best to be used with a Politoed. Does it have to be used with a Politoed since Ring did get nerfed? But it can't hurt. It can only help. And best to use with Volt Switchers, U-turners, things like that can get you a safe switch without taking damage. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT. Rate it if you want to see more tomorrow. And I am out of here. Peace! Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, NBT, and I'm bringing you another moveset video. If you would rate this video and get it to 2,000 like ratings, I will do another moveset video tomorrow. But today we're going to be covering an incredibly dangerous Pokemon called Mega Lucario. Now, regular Lucario was scary as it was, but Mega Lucario is pretty terrifying. For one, it gets slight boosts to its attack and special attack, and it gets a gigantic boost to its speed. Also a little bit in defense, which might come into play a little bit, but mainly its speed and its attack and special attack buffs are what made it so dangerous, as well as its ability. Adaptability makes its stab moves, well, you can read it what's on the screen right now, 1.5 times to 2 times multiplied. So close combat is going to be doing a whopping 240 damage per hit on unresisted targets. On weak targets, it's going to OHKO whatever's weak to it pretty much. Even resisted targets take more than its coverage move if it's neutral to it, like Crunch. But not only that, but it doesn't have to run extreme speed anymore. It could actually run Bullet Punch and achieve the same power. So there's that. Overall though, this thing is incredibly dangerous just for close combat. This will be your main move even if it's resisted. If you Swords Dance and use close combat on, like, let's say a Gliscor, it's still going to do massive damage, and it might even kill it if it's slightly weakened, I'm pretty sure. That's how dangerous it is. But Bullet Punch isn't a necessity. I'm using it just for the stab and the adaptability and the fact that Fairy types now resist close combat and Crunch, so Bullet Punch can be used in conjunction with these two moves to hit Fairy types super effectively, as well as a priority move. Priority, even though you're fast, things like Mega Gengar and Alakazam still outspeed, so Bullet Punch is an option. But if you wanted to run something completely different, like maybe, I don't know, Iron Tail, I don't know why you ever would, or even Ice Punch or something, you totally could, because close combat, even resisted from a Fairy type, is going to be doing 120 damage. So there's that. And next we have Crunch, and Crunch is there just to hit stuff like Jellicent pretty much. Jellicent walls this if you do not have Crunch. But, you know, you can also change out some of these moves, like Bullet Punch can be extreme speed, Crunch can be Ice Punch to kill Gliscor in one hit for sure, or Landorus T. Whatever. It's not, these aren't set in stone. And if you wanted to, you can even run a Nasty Plot set. Nasty Plot is completely viable. I'm going to show you guys the EVs though for the physical set. And you want to also have, when Lucario is normal, you want to have, I believe it's Justified, so that you get an attack boost instead of the ones that prevent flinching, or, you know, raise your speed if you flinch. Maybe Steadfast would come in handy if like Jirachi's there, but overall Justified is more useful because you could get an attack boost. Now if you're running the special set, I would run Steadfast. That's just me. Or the other one, Inner Focus, but Steadfast could get you a speed boost from Scarf Jirachi, which is, I think, Jirachi's main set going into 6th gen. But the Nasty Plot set is this. It is this, and Flash Cannon, wherever it's at. Where's Flash Cannon? There it is. And in the last slot, it's really whatever you want. Dark Pulse. You could also run Vacuum Wave over Aura Sphere, or even Vacuum Wave over Dark Pulse, but then you're kind of walled by Jellicent a little bit. But when Lucario goes Mega, It still, it still gets adaptability, obviously, and it has pretty much equal special attack. It's slightly lower, and you have to change this to timid, but you could totally, it's totally usable, especially with Nasty Plot. And Aura Sphere is a fantastic move that doesn't lower your defenses, which might mean life and death. It did get weakened though, but still both of these moves are 160 base power, and Dark Pulse is there for coverage. Or like I said, you can run Vacuum Wave over here, which gets a boost from adaptability as well and becomes an 80 base power move, which has priority. So either one you could totally use. Mega Lucario is incredibly dangerous though. Maybe not as dangerous as like Mega Pinsir, which I think is the most dangerous Mega bar none, but it's definitely up there as a threat, and if you're not prepared for it, you will get steamrolled either by a Nasty Plot or a Swords Dance variant. Or if even you wanted to, you could run a mixed variant with lowered speed and invested in attack and special attack with, like, I don't know, Vacuum Wave, Bullet Punch, 2 adaptability priority moves. It's totally possible. However you want to run it though, Mega Lucario is awesome. Go out and use it, give it a shot. I am going to exit this video now though, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out. Well, hello everyone and welcome to another moveset video. I am your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please drop a like or rating on this. That would be much appreciated. It lets me know you guys want to see more moveset videos. And today we're covering Absol Mega. Now, this might seem like a simple EV and like, I don't know, EV and move copy paste from regular Absol, but there are some things you want to take into account, and I'll go over them right now. Absol Mega gets a big boost to its speed. It's the big thing. Gets a nice little boost to attack and special attack. So if you wanted to make this a special set, that's totally viable. You could, but you'd lose out on priority. So there's that. But Mega Absol is still incredibly dangerous. Either way you want to cut it, it's still incredibly dangerous, still incredibly fast, and the only thing that can really tank its hits are fairy types, which is why I'm going to go over that, in a second. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, the EVs are pretty straightforward. You want to run Jolly because it has a nice base 115 speed, which makes it incredibly fast. You want to put all the rest in attack, gives it pretty much 400 attack here, and then put 1 in defense or HP, wherever you want to do. It really doesn't matter. And you want to take into account Magic Bounce. This is an amazing ability, maybe not so much for an offensive Pokemon, more so a defensive one, but it can come in very handy with what you can set up on. You never have to worry about burns, or you never have to worry about paralysis, status, Leech Seed, Curse, all that. You never have to worry about it. You can just set up on stuff that has those things and that use indirect attacks to damage you. So things like Blissey, things like Jellicent, things like what else? Let's see. Let's go through the list. Espeon, Gastrodon, stuff like that. You can get a Swords Dance on without a problem, and then go to town. 1 Swords Dance is really all you need. The first attack, which is essential, is Night Slash. It gives you nice stab, and you want to make sure before you Mega Evolve, you want to make sure your regular Absol has Super Luck and not Pressure, or even Justified. Whichever one you want to go for, Super Luck or Justified will help a lot, because before you Mega Evolve, if you choose to, you can get the boost from Justified or get a crit with Super Luck. So that's something to take into account. The next move, which is essential, is Superpower, because dark and fighting coverage is pretty darn amazing. The only thing that resists it is Fairy, and Superpower helps you take out things like Tyranitar, Lucario, etc., etc. That Night Slash, the stuff that resists Night Slash, Superpower pretty much takes care of. The only thing that can handle it is Fairy types. However, they are weak defensively, so you want to take that into account. Most of them are, at least. Maybe not a Azumarill. But the final move is a toss-up. You can either go with Sucker Punch, or you can go with Double Edge or Return. either one work. The main reason you want to go for Double Edge or Return over something like Mega Horn or Sucker Punch is because you have boosted speed, you don't have to worry about being revenge killed as much, and you can fake that you have Sucker Punch and go for an attack. A lot of people expect Sucker Punch, it's like commonplace on Absol, so you can run Double Edge or Return, and this will help you take out fairy types. Bulky fairy types like Clefable will not enjoy taking a 100 or 120 base power move coming off of a almost 800 attack stat. So keep that in mind. You don't have to run Sucker Punch. You can run something else. You could also run Mega Horn, but the coverage with Superpower is a little redundant, and Fairy resists that as well. So I would recommend running, if you're not going to run Sucker Punch, run Return or run Double Edge. It's up to you. Psycho Cut's even an option. Psycho Cut, although relatively weak, can take out bulky poison types like Weezing, which, although not seen very often, you know, it can help, and other fighting types as well. But in my opinion, Return or Double Edge or Sucker Punch is your best bet. It's up to you what you want to pick. Just, you know, pick whatever works best with your team. And as far as supporting Pokemon goes, Genesect, Scizor, Heliolisk, Rotom Wash, any of the Rotom forms, anything that can give you a Volt Switch into Absol is good. Anything that can give you a slow Volt Switch especially. So, you know, Fortress even with Volt Switch, you want to get Absol in without taking a hit because it is very, very frail. Its defenses are terrible. So you want to bring it in on something that can't hurt it, like a Blissey. Blissey's love to sponge Volt Switches. You can bring it in, set up, and go to town. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Well, hello everyone, it is I, the infamous BT, and I am bringing you another moveset video, this time with one of the most dangerous Pokemon of the 6th generation of Pokemon X and Y in Mega Mawile. Before I get into the video though, I want to ask you guys to please rate this video. If it gets 2,000 likes within 24 hours of it being uploaded, or I guess 12, I will upload another moveset video the very next day. Otherwise, I'm going to do them about every other day, or every 2 or 3 days or something. But yeah, like the video, 2,000 likes, you'll get one immediately the next day. It lets me know you guys want to see them and are very adamant about watching them. But today's set is Mega Mawile. I'm trying to cover all the Mega Evolutions, and I would say behind Mega Pinsir, Mega Kangaskhan, and Mega Lucario, Mega Mawile is up there with them as far as being absolutely deadly. Not much has changed with the speed and HP stats from regular Mawile. Well, you know, its stats were pretty awful to begin with, but what has changed is huge, and that would be a buff to special defense, a buff to defense, a buff to attack, and possibly, quite possibly, the best ability in the game, Huge Power. Huge Power doubles your attack stat. Considering this Pokemon already has 339 attack with an adamant nature, which is already high, that is absolutely scary. It essentially gets a free Swords Dance for nothing. The only thing that's really bad about Mega Mawile is, like I said, it's low base HP and it's low base speed, but that can be made up for and compensated for very easily. The first move on this set, which while not mandatory is incredibly dangerous, is Swords Dance. Swords Dance will double your attack stat. Considering your attack without a Swords Dance is essentially 678, I do believe, if my math is correct. Swords Dancing will rocket it to over 1300. It is insane how powerful Swords Dance Mega Mawile is, and if you don't predict around it or don't play around it correctly, you will get swept. It doesn't matter if hazards are up or not. It does not matter if a Pokemon has prior damage or what. Mega Mawile with a Swords Dance will destroy you. Without a Swords Dance, it will still destroy you. It's that dangerous. Swords Dance is there, but it's not mandatory. I would recommend it because Play Rough, Sucker Punch, and Fire Fang all get pretty fantastic neutral coverage, but it's there. And if you want to use it, then be my guest. It will help you secure KOs against faster, more dangerous threats like Heatran with Sucker Punch, Skarmory that has been hit with Stealth Rock, etc., etc. It will just maim anything you hit if you, even if resisted hit. I'm pretty sure Play Rough resisted without a Swords Dance KOs Gengar after Stealth Rock. So at least that's what I remember happening. Could be remembering that wrong. Somebody do a calc, I don't know. But yeah, Swords Dance is the first move. You can run another coverage move, like I said, if you want to. But I would just run Swords Dance. And the next move is Play Rough. Play Rough is essential. This will be your main attack. It is a 90 base power physical fairy attack with 90 accuracy. Relatively good accuracy. Won't miss that much. And it is incredibly powerful even without a Swords Dance. With a Swords Dance, it pretty much OHKOs anything that doesn't resist it. Even things that do resist it will get OHKO'd. It is that powerful. Definitely run Play Rough over its other stab move, Iron Head. Do not run Iron Head. It's pretty redundant coverage and it doesn't hit much, but Play Rough will destroy everything. Run Play Rough. With that being said, we have Sucker Punch next. Since Mega Mawile is slow, Sucker Punch will hit anything faster as long as it attacks it first. And faster priority moves will make Sucker Punch fail, so be wary of that. Be wary of Lucario coming in and possibly Vacuum Waving. Be very, very, very wary of that, and you might just want to go straight for something else, even though you probably wouldn't want to Sucker Punch at Lucario anyway since it's 4 times resisted. But that's beside the point. Be wary of faster priority moves. For instance, Talonflame's Brave Bird will make Sucker Punch fail. But usually Talonflame will probably go for a fire move unless he's a very smart player. He or she's a very smart player. Don't want to discriminate. But Sucker Punch is essential for hitting things like Latios, Alakazam, Gengar, etc., 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 etc. Anything faster, even with a Swords Dance under your belt, Sucker Punch OHKOs Heatran, any variant of it, especially defensive, whatever, because Dark now hits Steel neutrally, which is, it just makes Sucker Punch that more deadly. So Sucker Punch and Play Rough are musts. The third and final move is Fire Fang. Fire Fang maims Fortress, it maims Ferrothorn, it maims Skarmory, especially after a Swords Dance, and it pretty much hits everything that Play Rough and Sucker Punch don't super effectively. So I would say Fire Fang is your best bet in this slot. You could run something else like Iron Head or some other stab move, but I would say Fire Fang is your best bet. It's relatively weak base power wise, but your attack is so high it really does not matter. It really doesn't. And the EVs are pretty straightforward. I have just enough speed to outspeed Mega Scissor, and then I put the rest in attack, and then whatever I have left I put in HP. Relatively simple. If you want to do calcs, you can. Here's a little bit of gameplay of it just to show you how dangerous and how effective it is, and this is without a Swords Dance. It's just a beast of a set. It is absolutely terrifying to face, and that's gonna be pretty much the video, guys. Give Mega Mawile a try. I haven't seen too much of it, but what I have, it's definitely left a huge mark on my team, if not outright swept me. So give it a chance. It's slow, but with Sucker Punch priority, you can definitely play around that. And yeah, it's an awesome Pokemon. One thing to say before I end this video though is with the normal evolution, the normal Mawile, you want to run either Hyper Cutter or Intimidate. Do not run Sheer Force. I would recommend Intimidate because you can get you can pretty much set up on something a physical attacker after you evolve into the Mega version. But yeah, that's going to conclude the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you later. Peace. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please rate this video with a like rating. If it gets 2,000 likes, I will do another moveset video tomorrow, so like it up. And we're actually going to do something a little different this time. We're going to hold a little contest. You guys vote in the comments which mega set you want me to do next, what you want me to upload next. Either Mega Ampharos or Mega Scissor. Those are your choices. So vote below, Mega Ampharos or Mega Scissor. Vote below, and I will do whichever one you guys want next. Just something to make this a little bit more interactive for you guys. watching at home. But anyway, let's get on to the set. This is Mega Banette, and this is a Mega that I have absolutely not seen. And it's a little, it's pretty bizarre. Banette's, the regular Banette has always been a really cool Pokemon, but it's always really sucked. It just was too slow. Its attack wasn't high enough. Its move pool was pretty shitty. And then in the 6th gen, along comes Mega Banette, and it's good, but at the same time, it's kind of shitty. And what I mean by that is, well, its move pool still kind of stinks. It's got a pretty good amount of support moves, which it can use with Prankster here. But the problem with using support moves with Prankster is that you have to have some kind of reliable recovery, because you're not going to be attacking, you're going to be taking hits. Take Sableye, for example. It usually runs Will-O-Wisp, Foul Play, Recover, and Taunt. But it has leftovers and it has access to recover, so it works. This Banette does not have leftovers. It does not have access to recover. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's a bit weird. It doesn't even have cool setup moves like Swords Dance. It has Calm Mind, and that's pretty much all it gets. It doesn't even get Bulk Up. What this Banette desperately needs is a fighting type attack, just like Drain Punch or Superpower or Hammer Arm. Any kind of fighting type attack would make this a lot more deadly. But since Steel types got nerfed defensively, and since Dark and Ghost now hit Steel for neutral damage, this actually isn't a bad set I've come up with. First, let's go over the EVs. The EVs are relatively simple. 252 in HP, so we can maximize our bulk. 252 in attack and 4 in speed make this adamant. And you have essentially a choice banded ghost type that can switch moves. It is incredibly powerful. 471 total attack is pretty ridiculous. That's pretty much a base 100, base 105, whatever choice band. So that is very powerful, and you can switch moves, and you don't have to attack if you don't want to. That's relegated for the last slot. But let's go over the attacks. First, we have Shadow Sneak, which has priority. It gets Stab. Why wouldn't you use it? It is great against stuff that's faster than you, like Gengar. It's great against anything that you need to take out with priority. And like I said, since Steel no longer resists Ghost and Dark, Ghost is actually one of the best offensive typings in the game, so Shadow Sneak is a must on this set. Next is Sucker Punch, another priority move which hits pretty much the same as Shadow Sneak, but it is more powerful. It doesn't get Stab, unfortunately, but you know, it hits pretty much the same thing Ghost does, except it can hit normal types as well. So if Mega Kangaskhan comes in and tries to do something to you, I guess Earthquake you, Sucker Punch will hit it relatively hard. If you don't want to run Sucker Punch, you can run something else, but there's, like I said, Banette's move pool is just not that good. You could run a special attack that's got usable special attack, but you're probably better off just running Sucker Punch, honestly. And then last but not least, we have Shadow Claw, and this is Banette's strongest physical move, but it does not get priority, so use it when faced against like a wall, like, I don't know, a weakened Ferrothorn or whatever. And last but not least, we have Destiny Bond, and Destiny Bond is here just to make sure Banette does something. With Prankster, it will move first, so you're guaranteed if something's going to attack you to take it out. Alternatively, if you don't want to run Destiny Bond, you don't think the opponent is going to attack or it's going to set up on you or whatever, you can run something else like Curse. You could run this move called Grudge, where if the user faints, the attack that killed it loses all its HP, but I don't know, it's kind of gimmicky. Destiny Bond or Curse is probably your best bet. You could run Taunt as well, though, just to prevent stuff from toxicking you or whatever. You can run Will-O-Wisp to cripple something in a last-ditch effort. Thunder Wave, Toxic, whatever you want to do. Even Trick Room. Trick Room's an option if you're running a Trick Room team. Prankster Trick Room, I don't know how that works because Trick Room is so low on the priority scale, but you can give it a try if you want. But that's pretty much the best Mega Banette can do. You can run other sets, but its move pool just doesn't really do much for it, honestly. It doesn't even get Pain Split. It has no way to recover outside of Rest. But you could, if you really wanted to, run a support Rest Talk set with something like Rest Sleep Talk, Shadow Claw, and like Will-O-Wisp or something if you really wanted to. But its defenses aren't anything to write home about. It's not that good defensively. So I think you're just better off investing it all into attack, all into HP, and just going balls out with your stab moves and priority moves and such. And then when this thing has, you know, used up its usefulness, Destiny Bond, take something out for sure, and or Curse and cripple something that may try to set up on you, whatever. And that's about it, guys. Mega Banette is a mixed bag. I think it'll be UU, but it's not horrible, and it's better than, you know, normal Banette at least. But anyway, that's going to conclude this moveset video, guys. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, rating, and let me know if you want to see Mega Ampharos or Mega Scissor on the next part of this, on the next episode of this. And I'll see you guys later. Peace. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Pokemon moveset. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please like this video. If it gets 2,000 likes, I will do another episode tomorrow. You'll get one each day if you just give this 2,000 likes. So do that if you want to see more and you're adamant about seeing more. But I also gave you guys a choice. If you wanted to see Mega Scissor or Mega Ampharos covered first, you guys picked Ampharos. So we're going to do that this episode. But I'm going to give you guys another choice to vote for in the comments. Which one you want to see first, me cover first on the next episode. Mega Aggron or Mega Heracross. That is Aggron and Heracross. Which Mega do you want to see covered in the next moveset video? Write your choice below in the comments. Please and thank you. But without further ado, let's get on to this Ampharos set. I think I've seen maybe one Mega Ampharos, and it actually did good damage to my team. It's not a bad Mega, but the problem is it's just too slow. It's got you know, it's got great HP. It's got usable attack. Its defenses all got raised, or both got raised, and its special attack got a huge boost to base 165, meaning a modest one is incredibly powerful. Now this set might seem weird with the EVs because Ampharos isn't fast. In fact, it actually lost speed in the transition to Mega Ampharos. It lost 10 base speed. It was 55 before, but this still works because you have increased bulk. You have a very good 246 defense even without investment, and 256 special defense without investment, which is very good. Also, Ampharos got a type change as well. It's now Electric Dragon, which is, I don't know, it's interesting. It gives you some weaknesses to Fairy and Ice and such and Dragon, but it also gives you a great stab to work with, that to where you don't have to use Hidden Power Ice, because Hidden Power Ice actually got nerfed this gen. It went from 70 to 60 power, max power, that is. So things that are weak to Hidden Power Ice, a neutral Dragon Pulse will actually do more damage after stab. So there's that. Even things that are 4 times weak to Ice, like Dragonite and Garchomp and Salamence, they are hit harder by a super effective Dragon Pulse than a 4 times super effective Hidden Power Ice. After stab and the weakness, the 1 times weakness or whatever, 2 times weakness. So there's that. You can run Hidden Power Ice to catch things like Landorus T and Gliscor off guard, but it's really not worth it. I'd recommend just running a teammate that can handle those things, like your own Landorus T with Hidden Power Ice or something. Something like that, you know, or a Heracross, like Mega Heracross, something that can come in on their Earthquakes and such with relative ease. And then we have Thunderbolt, which is the obligatory stab move. Thunderbolt is incredibly reliable. If you're running a rain team, you may want to consider Thunder, but I think Thunderbolt is more reliable. It's better. You know, rain got nerfed to 5 turns unless you're holding a Damp Rock this gen. So I think T-Bolt is just flat out better. It's just a powerful move coming off of a base 165 attack and, you know, 471 after a modest boost. It's gonna hurt like anything that doesn't resist it. It's even gonna hurt some things that do resist it. And then finally we have Focus Blast. Focus Blast pretty much rounds out your coverage and gives you super effective coverage on things that can wall your hits, like Tyranitar. It can get super effective coverage on Blissey as well, but Blissey can tank them unless you get drops. It's very inaccurate though, so I would not use it unless I had to, honestly. Even something like that takes super effective damage from it, you might want to try Dragon Pulse or a Thunderbolt first, you know, even if it's weaker, because you do have the bulk to take some hits, and missing 2 in a row, which is entirely possible, could be a thing. So, you know, use your best judgment. It's pretty much there just for super effective coverage on things that can wall these 2 moves. So, use it wisely. And last but not least, we have Agility, which might seem weird, putting on such a slow Pokemon and investing in speed and such, but with Agility, you can outspeed pretty much the fastest OU threat, which is Greninja here. Using Agility puts you at 378 speed. Like, it's perfect to outspeed Greninja. And there's really nothing faster than that in OU, unless I'm mistaken. There's Talonflame, but that usually runs Adamant for extra power. So after an Agility, you outspeed pretty much everything in OU that isn't Scarfed or doesn't have, you know, priority. So there's that. It's pretty much just a filler move because these moves right here have such good coverage naturally that this just helps you secure sweeps on weakened teams by the end of the game. Even when, like, you know, the fact that you're bulky as well only adds to the success of Agility. On some walls, you can even Agility twice if you want to and be faster than, like, most Scarfers. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much the moveset. 252 in speed, 252 in special attack, 4 in HP, modest, and it does have Mold Breaker too. I forgot to mention this. That also will help you against things like, I don't know, Volt Absorber, Thunderous T, regular, well, no, regular Thunderous doesn't have that. Anything with Volt Absorb, the rarely seen Lantern is actually a pain in the ass, and Thunderbolt can hit it. So there's that. It can bypass Sturdy as well, and I'm not sure on this, but I think Fortress may get O-Code if it's not invested in special defense if you hit it with a Thunderbolt. Don't quote me on that. I'm just going by play experience and the sheer power of this Pokemon. So Mold Breaker is not to be taken lightly at all. It's a fantastic ability to have. Maybe not on Ampharos specifically, but it's still helpful. It's not useless like Tough Claw's Aerodactyl, Mega Aerodactyl is, but we'll get into that later on when I cover that that particular set. But yeah, that's the set, guys. A bulky, speedy threat that, while it may not be OU, will probably be at least UU, because that special attack stat is just nice, and that bulk is just nice. Definitely give it a shot. It can 2-hit KO probably just about anything in the game that isn't specially defensive, namely Blissey. Pretty sure it can 2-hit KO everything in OU that isn't Blissey. Don't quote me on that again, I haven't done calcs, but just judging from the sheer power, I'd say it probably could. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, rating, and vote which Mega you want to see me cover on the next part, Mega Aggron or Mega Heracross. Leave your vote below in the comments, and I will see you guys later. Peace out. Well, hello there everyone, and welcome back to another moveset video. I have realized that I need to get these out faster because there's a lot of Pokemon to cover, and I don't want to be doing this like a year from now. So I'm going to try to do one of these a day with the Megas and the regular Pokemon alternating, but I'm going to cover the new X and Y Pokemon first and the Megas first before anything else. So without further ado, let's get underway. Our Pokemon today is Tyrantrum. Now, Tyrantrum is an interesting little prospect. It gets 2 really cool abilities, it's got some pretty interesting stats, and it looks really badass. This thing is a rock dinosaur with a beard. It doesn't get much cooler than that. Let's go over the EVs first, because they're a little bit complicated, but if you let me explain what I'm doing with them, you'll understand. This is a Dragon Dance set first and foremost, so we're going to be boosting our speed and attack. Now, one would think just put all this in attack, you know, all this in defense, and just go with it. But by putting this much into HP, this actually hits a leftovers number. Now, a leftovers number is an an HP number divisible by 16, which gives you, I think it's 1 HP more of leftovers recovery every turn. Considering you're going to probably be Dragon Dancing and then sweeping, you want as much HP recovered as possible. It also helps your bulk out because Tyrantrum has some really good physical bulk. Special bulk, not so much, but the physical bulk is there and it is really, really good. And you want to kind of take advantage of that. Not only that, but the few extra EVs in attack won't really matter that much because Head Smash is so insanely powerful. So there's that. But that's the EVs explained. Also, max speed is used over any other, like Adamant or something like that, because this way you can outspeed by, I think, 2 points. If you want to put it in 1, you can, and then put another one in attack. You totally can. That's up to you. But 264 and above outspeeds the standard Rotom Wash form, which will burn you with Will-O-Wisp, and Will-O-Wisp has increased accuracy, so it's more reliable now. So this gives you a chance to, before you even do anything, Head Smash it. If you catch it on the switch, like coming in with a Dragon Claw and then Head Smash it, it's a pretty much a one-shot deal, and that thing's dead and out of your hair. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So there's that. But the other moves are pretty much just for coverage. Dragon Dance isn't even needed so much because Head Smash is so insanely powerful as it is. There's nothing more to say. With Rockhead, you get no recoil on it. I think it's the better ability over Strong Jaw, but that's just my opinion. If you want to run like another rock move and run Strong Jaw to take care of ghosts, you could do that, but I don't think it's that much more powerful than a Rockhead or Head Smash. And the only thing you got going there is like Crunch has more reliability, so there's that. But I prefer Rockhead. Rockhead Head Smash is insanely powerful. After Dragon Dance, it like 2-hit KOs Skarmory. It's just a beast of a move that should be on your set and makes Tyrantrum so darn good. The next move is Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is the obligatory stab move. You do not want to run Outrage if Tyrantrum can even learn it. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. Showdown says you can't. So Dragon Claw it is. Just an all-around good stab move. Hits stuff pretty hard, and it completes the Edgequake combo. The few Pokemon that resist the Edgequake combo are hit hard by Dragon Claw, like Breloom and stuff like that. So there you go. And last but not least, we have Earthquake, just to hit things like T-Tar really hard, and Heatran. Aegislash. Aegislash is a big one. It completes the Edgequake combo, synergizes very well with Dragon Claw. It, like anything the Edgequake combo resists, Dragon Claw pretty much hits for at least neutral damage, unless it's a Bronzong. So there's that, but Head Smash messes up Bronzong still, so there's that as well. So that's pretty much the set, guys. Tyrantrum is very scary. I don't see it too much in OU. I've seen it once, and some dude was running a choice band on it, and that's totally okay too. Totally viable set. You can run Crunch in the top slot here just to hit ghosts, bulky ghosts coming in. If you don't want to risk missing a Head Smash or something, it's totally viable. But I prefer Dragon Dance because Dragon Dance is so cool, and freaking Dragon Dance on a Tyrannosaurus Rex made out of rocks and Fruity Pebbles is really badass. And the EVs, like I said, I run Jolly Max just to outspeed or speed tie with other Jolly Tyrantrum. If you want to take 1 point out and put it in attack, you absolutely positively can. It's up to you. Those are, interchangeable. If you even want to just take all of it out HP and put it in attack, you totally can too. But I prefer the leftovers number because this is a bulky set, and you're going to want to recover some. Recover as much as you possibly can, and the extra HP adds a little bit of bulk too, so why not run it, Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this moveset video. If you did, please give this a like rating, a thumb up. That would be fantastic, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another moveset video. On the last part, I asked you if you wanted to see Mega Aggron or Mega Heracross next, and it was a very close vote race, but Aggron won out just barely. But now I'm going to make the voting a little bit more open-ended. Just vote on a Mega Evolution that I have not covered yet. Anyone I haven't covered, you can go look at the playlist in the video description to see which ones I haven't covered. Whichever ones you guys want to see the most will have priority in the rank I do them. I will probably ask every video. So yeah, just leave a comment below with whatever Mega you want to see. But this moveset is for Mega Aggron, and I had trouble using Mega Aggron. I really did, because defensively it got a huge boost. It got a huge boost because it lost its rock typing, gained Filter, which is the same as Solid Rock for like Rhyperior. It receives 3/4 of the damage from super effective attacks, which is great because Mega Aggron is incredibly defensive. Amazing base 230 defense. Decent base 70 HP, got a buff to special defense even got a buff to attack, but it lost an amazing ability in Rockhead, which prevented recoil damage, so you can no longer spam Head Smash. Not only that, but as a defensive Pokemon, it lost leftovers and it has no instant recovery, so it's kind of like it doesn't really know what it wants to be, offensive or defensive. I tried to make several sets with it. This was probably the best one I used. And it's both offensive and defensive, so it's kind of like a tank set. But it has one little trick up its sleeve, and I will reveal that in a second. Or well, if you're smart or have, 2 working eyes, you can probably already see it. But let's just go over the moves. Or actually, let's go over the EVs first. 252 in HP, 4 in attack, and 252 in special defense. Careful nature. We want Aggron to be as bulky as possible. No one hit should be able to take it out. That's pretty much the EVs you want. You can put 4 in defense if you really want to, but its defense is so high. I prefer to put it in attack because base 140 attack, even uninvested, is pretty darn high. It gives you 317 with just 4 EVs, and that's above, like fully invested, jolly base 100 attack Pokemon. So it's got a good attack stat. Nothing to write home about or sweep a team, but it can do some damage with super effective attacks. But let's get on to the moves. Fire Punch. Fire Punch is pretty much essential for things like Fortress, things like Genesect, things like Scissor, Mega Scissor, Ferrothorn. There's so many things weak to fire that Fire Punch is like just a fantastic move to use, especially considering that a lot of bug steel types especially, and Ferrothorn especially, can set up hazards or sit up in your face and try to kill you. So Fire Punch, run Fire Punch. You need to run Fire Punch. In my humble opinion, Fire Punch is great. Run it, do it, yeah. Alright, next move is Heavy Slam. Now Heavy Slam actually got a buff on Aggron because Aggron gained even more weight. He's even more of a fat ass. Heavy Slam's going to be doing pretty darn good damage. You might have to do some calcs to see what will do more damage between your other 2 moves. But Heavy Slam's good. Heavy Slam's great. Use it as your still move of choice. It will mess up small little fairies like Sylveon and Slurpuff and Clefable even. So use Heavy Slam. It's a good move, especially since Aggron got fatter. That's all there is to say about that. Now the third move's a little tricky. You can run several things here. It depends on what you want to get walled by, or if you want to lower your stats or whatever. Earthquake is good for hitting Heatran on the switch, or even taking. I think you can take a Fire Blast with Filter and max special defense. Earthquake's good for taking out Heatran, but on the same note, Rotom Wash walls you. So you could run Stone Edge there to hit Rotom Wash, but then Heatran kind of poops on you, and you don't have a good way to hit electric types either, for that matter. So there's that, or you can go for the middle ground and run Super Power, but Super Power lowers your attack and defense. It might not be that big of a deal with Aggron's amazing defense, but with the last move, it's whatever. Or you can run something else entirely if you really want to. Not Rock Polish. Don't run Rock Polish. Stealth Rock, or Roar, or Dragon Tail, anything you really want. I mean, all these moves can be mixed and matched, but I think Fire Punch and Heavy Slam are good just because Fire Punch hits so much, Heavy Slam gets stab, and it's powerful. So Earthquake, Stone Edge, Super Power, Stealth Rock, Dragon Tail, Roar, whatever you want to do, Toxic even, Thunder Wave. You can run Thunder Wave and Iron Head if you really want to, but I prefer just an attacking move over like a Roar or something like that, or Dragon Tail, because Aggron's not going to be lasting long with no leftovers, even though it's very defensive. And then we have the final move, the coup de grace, Metal Burst. Now Metal Burst is something that normal Aggron could probably never run, because even though it was fantastic with it's fantastic with its amazing defense and such, it didn't have good special defense, and it had a rock typing, which gave it like a 4x ground and fighting weakness, which was no good, no bueno. But with Metal Burst and the ability Filter, and it's increased defense and special defense and all that. It's pretty much a perfect match. Just to give you an idea of how bulky Mega Aggron is, at full health, I managed to live a Tail Glow, Manaphy, Surf that was timid. So that's how bulky it is. I lived it with about 18%, I think it was, somewhere in that ballpark. Metal Bursted back, killed the Manaphy. Things that want to hit you hard for super effective damage will be very, very surprised when you Metal Burst them, hit them back with 1.5 times the damage they did to you, and probably flat out kill them. That's that's pretty much it. Now you might be thinking like, well, why would I run Metal Burst if I'm, you know, running like defense EVs or whatever? Because you'll do less damage, or they'll do less damage to you, and you won't do as much back. But you want to make sure you can live the hit. Mega Aggron's very defensive, very bulky, but still like coming off like you know, a good special attacker is gonna maim you, and like a choice band of Terrakions also gonna maim you with stab close combat. So it's going to hurt you, but you want to make sure you can live. So invest in HP, invest in special defense, run it careful, and Metal Burst something that you know is going to attack you. And that's pretty much the best way to run this Aggron. It's not bad. I think it'll be UU, maybe not OU, but Metal Burst is great. Its defenses are great. It just needs either leftovers or like an instant recovery move or something, because it doesn't really know if it wants to be an offensive or a defensive Pokemon. It's kind of like Rhyperior in that sense, but Rhyperior has, I don't know, it's good, but Rhyperior has Edgequake as well, and like Stab on both, so that helps a lot. It's just, I don't know, it's a good Pokemon, but I think it'll be UU. But I mean, give it a try in OU, it might surprise some people, especially with Metal Burst. And yeah, let me know how it works out for you guys. I am out of here though. Vote for whatever Mega you want to see next in the video description below. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Well, hello there everyone, and welcome back to another moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, bringing you a Mega Gyarados set today. If you guys could, as always, please rate this video. It would be much appreciated. The more you guys rate them, the faster these get pumped out for you. But you guys gave me a lot of suggestions for like Mega Pokemon to cover, and Mega Gyarados was a relatively popular suggestion, so I decided I'd try it out in some games and stuff, and you know, get some footage for it as well, because I wanted to see if this set actually worked. And believe it or not, it worked very well. I didn't expect it to work this well, because I'm so used to using bulky Gyarados. And this set is kind of like a mixture of the bulky set and the offensive set from previous gens. First, let's go to the EVs. They're relatively simple. I maxed out attack because base 155 attack is scary, and yeah, after one Dragon Dance, your attack is like 518 or 618, excuse me, which is pretty darn scary. Next, we have 176 speed EVs with a Jolly nature, because we want to outspeed Jolly Tyrantrum if we have to. Not only that, but you can outspeed other Gyarados, like bulky Gyarados, standard bulky Gyarados, so that's a thing. And then the rest is just dumped into HP, and we have an odd number of HP so that we can live Stealth Rock switch-ins before we Mega Evolve, because we have to come in, and if Stealth Rock's on the field, then it's going to hurt Gyarados' regular form more than this form, but it has to come in to evolve. So if rocks are up, it's best to have 351, an odd number, so that you can live a maximum of 5 if you have to. So there's that. That's it for the EVs though. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which is the moveset. Now, Dragon Dance is like the most obvious thing ever on Mega Gyarados, but it doesn't matter, because Mega Gyarados and regular Gyarados, they are similar but different. Now, Mega Gyarados, as you probably know by now, is a water dark type, whereas regular Gyarados is a water flying. Now, what would be a pain in the ass for like Mega Gyarados is a breeze to take with regular Gyarados, like fighting moves which threaten Mega Gyarados. They don't hurt regular Gyarados hardly at all. However, the one problem with regular Gyarados is that it has a 4 times weakness to electric attacks. Mega Gyarados though does not have that. It's a 1 times weakness, and it's so bulky that you could live electric attacks relatively well if you're not hurt. Base 130 special defense, 296 without investment. base 109 defense, 254 without investment. That is great. With this much HP, you can live an electric attack. Maybe not from something like super strong like a Specs Thundurus or something, but you can live like a weak Volt Switch or something from Rotom. It's not out of the question. And speaking of Rotom, let's cover the other moves now. Dragon Dance, though, it's relatively simple. Enough speed to outspeed Jolly Tyrantrum, and enough speed to outspeed other bulky Gyarados and other standard Gyarados variants. That's just my personal preference. If you want to run 264 speed, you can, and run 253 or 353 HP. But I prefer 266. That's just me. Anyway, let's get on to the first move, Bite. Now, this might seem like a weird move, but Mega Gyarados, unfortunately, does not get Crunch. I don't know why. I don't know why Game Freak did that, but it doesn't get Crunch, which is why I was so against using it at first, because, I mean, how can this thing not learn Crunch? It's a freaking Kraken thing, sea monster, basically. I don't really know. But Bite's there for Stab. It's 90 power after Stab, which is not bad. And it's essentially the same power as like a neutral Stone Edge or a neutral Earthquake. So it's not that bad, and it has a 30% chance to flinch, which may come in handy. That may come in very handy against something bulky enough to take your hits like a Vaporeon or something. Bite, it's there. It can also hit Celebi really hard, which is a pretty big stop to Gyarados, and it's there just for Stab, and I like it. I like what I've used of it, but you can always run something else. You can always run Stone Edge. You can always run Bounce for the one thing that will wall you, which is like Chestnut and Breloom. Although Chestnut's not seen very often, Breloom is pretty common, so you have to watch out for that. But I wouldn't be staying in on a Mega Breloom or a regular Breloom anyway, because Mach Punch is a thing. It hurts Gyarados pretty badly. Just saying. But yeah, Bite's there. You can run Stone Edge. You can run Bounce, even though Bounce loses Stab. Whatever you want to do. I prefer Bite, though. That's just me. The next move is Earthquake. Now, Earthquake is very important because Mega Gyarados got a very important ability change in Mold Breaker. One of Gyarados' biggest enemies is Rotom Wash, and now it can take care of that easily. After a Dragon Dance, you kill Rotom Wash with an Earthquake. You can kill other Levitators very easily. It's just like Bronzong or something. It's just a fantastic move to have with Mold Breaker. So Earthquake's pretty much a must. There's not much to be said other than that. Now the next and the final move is Waterfall. Now Waterfall, of course, is like the staple water move. You could run Aqua Tail if you really want to, but there's that accuracy problem. And Mega Gyarados is already pretty darn powerful, plus Waterfall has a chance to flinch. And since you're raising your speed, Bite and Waterfall are useful for flinching things that can live 2 hits and like kill you or roar you out or whatever. So there's that. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Non-Mega Gyarados should run either Intimidate or Moxie. Either one it's up to you. I mean, it's your preference. I personally think that Moxie is a bit more beneficial because this is a max attack offensive Gyarados. If you manage to score a kill in your regular form, you can then Mega Evolve and become even more powerful because Mega Gyarados has a higher attack stat than regular Gyarados. But it's up to you. You can totally run Intimidate and set up on like stuff locked into fighting type attacks, scare out a Lucario or something like that can't really touch you, and then proceed to Dragon Dance and Mega Evolve later. It's totally up to you. Whichever one you want to run, it's your choice. And but I prefer Moxie, just saying. But that's pretty much the set, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like rating, and I will cover more Megas in the future. Leave a comment below with what Mega Evolution you want me to cover next, and I will do it based on suggestions, popular opinion, whatever. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please like this video with a like rating. That will be phenomenal. If it gets 2,000 likes, I'll do another moveset video tomorrow, the very next day. But let's cover this one. This is an interesting little set that I came up with, and I'm not sure if anyone else is using it. I haven't seen anyone else using it, and it's kind of ridiculous, but it's cool, and it's unique, and it's fun, and when it works, it's definitely satisfying. This is Slurpuff. Now, Slurpuff is a really goofy-looking ice cream fairy type thing with bad stats. bar none. That's pretty much all it is. There's really no point to using it except for this one little thing it has. It's Belly Drum. Now Belly Drum by itself it's an okay move. It maxes your attack but halves your HP. That's not that good. However, what is good is the fact that Slurpuff gets Unburdened along with it. Now Unburdened means your speed is doubled when your held item is used or lost. So what that means is that you Belly Drum, you recover 4th of your max HP with Citrus Berry, and then you go to town with like 1,000 some attack or something like that. It's a weird set though, because although you are very speedy and although you get a massive attack boost, it's still not the most powerful thing because it lacks a lot of coverage moves. It has Play Rough, which is the main thing you're going to be using. You know, Fairy Stab, Physical Stab, it's fantastic. Use this primarily after you Belly Drum. I mean, unless it's against a Heatran or a Fire type or whatever. Although it is good to note that your other coverage move, Thief, a neutral Thief, is actually less powerful than a 2 times resisted Play Rough. Now, 4 times is a different story. Like Heatran completely walls Play Rough, so you're gonna have to use Thief. But Play Rough in general is stronger than Thief on a neutral hit. You only want to use Thief if it's super effective and Play Rough is resisted, or if you really think you can kill and want your item back. So there's that. But yeah, let's go to the next move here since we're talking about it already. Thief. Thief got a buff this gen. It's now 60 power, and Fairy and Dark is actually really good coverage. Although Thief is not very powerful at all, it does give you your an item back. So if you want to have leftovers or Life Orb or whatever, and you know Thief can kill whatever you're attacking, then go for it. And last but not least, we have Flamethrower, which is pretty much just to handle things that wall Play Rough and Thief and can take the hit from it. And those things are Scissor, Ferrothorn, etc., etc. Steel types like that will be taking more from a 4 times super effective Flamethrower than they will a neutral Thief or a resisted Play Rough, etc. Although it is noted that you're going to have to catch Scissor on the switch when it comes in, like the next time or whatever. If you set up this and you know Scissor's going to come in immediately, you have to predict that and hit it on the switch, or else it's going to annihilate you. It's not even a one-hit KO after Stealth Rock either on the standard, you know, Choice Banded Scissor variant, but it does weaken it to the point where like anything else kills it, and then you can like Belly Drum not again. You won't get the chance to again, but you know, if you know it's coming in and you predict it with Flamethrower and then switch out and then come back in later and do the same thing, you'll be in good shape. But yeah, it's just there to hit the 4 times weak steel types in OU, like Scissor, Ferrothorn, etc. And you know, that's pretty much the moveset. I call it the world's most dangerous ice cream, WMD IC. Rolls right off the tongue, I know. But yeah, it's a cool little set. I don't think it'll be OU because Slurpuff just has bad stats. If it doesn't get the set up, then you're not going to do anything. But plus, with all the priority running around, priority is a big thing, especially Bullet Punch this gen, since Steel got a buff and, you know, Fairy's weak to it now. So there's that. If you want to use this set in OU, you have to make sure that powerful priority attackers are gone, and you have to make sure that the things that check this are weakened substantially. Why couldn't I say that word? I was wanting to say suspiciously. You have to make sure the counters and checks to this are weakened substantially. So you want to run a lot of entry hazards, stuff that can really hurt Heatran, Scissor, etc., Spikes, Stealth Rock, etc., etc. And that's pretty much the moveset, guys, though. Give it a try. It'll probably be UU when that tier gets put out, because it's nothing to mess around with. It's really not. Slurpuff by itself is pretty awful, but these little perks make it pretty good, make it pretty usable. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video though. If you did, leave a like, rating, and I will see you later. Peace out. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please rate this video with a like rating, because today's set is very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. I actually saw PokeAim MD use this first in a video. If somebody else made it, then I'm sorry for not crediting you. People get very butthurt when they like make a Pokemon set, even though it doesn't really matter. I make these sets for you guys to try. I don't care if you use them or whatever. But anyway, this is an interesting set. I saw him use it in a Wi-Fi battle he did, and I had to make a set on it myself. And yeah, let's cover the basis here. The EVs are pretty straightforward. I would run Modest because Modest gives you the most power, and I would run, since you are running Hidden Power Fire and your EVs or IVs, excuse me, are lower than normal, I would run 266 speed just to outspeed Jolly Tyrantrum and kill it with Draco Meteor before it can do anything. The rest goes in HP, or you can even put some in like a defense or special defense because you know, Genesect's a thing. If you don't want it to get like a physical attack boost, put it in physical defense. If you don't want it to get a special attack boost, put it in special defense. It's your call. Those little assholes do like to U-turn out a lot, so that's a thing. But let's go over the set and explain what the hell this is. Now, Focus Energy got a buff this generation. I did not know this until I saw his battle, but it got a buff. Critical hit ratio, the critical hit ratio is boosted by 2 now. Now, what that means is with Scope Lens, after 1 Focus Energy, you always critical hit. Now, if that's not scary enough, you have 2 amazing abilities to, you know, boost the power or offensive presence of Kingdra already, and those are Sniper and Swift Swim. Now, Sniper is there if you want even more power on your crits and you just want to break walls. Like if you Focus Energy and you know you just want to kill something, like something really annoying like Ferrothorn or Scizor or an incoming Genesect or something like that, then use Sniper. If you want to sweep, use Swift Swim and pair it with a Politoed. With Infinite Rain and Damp Rock on the Politoed, so you get the maximum number of turns. But that's one thing. And if you're doing that, you might not want to run HP Fire. You might want to run Ice Beam, although it'll still do like a considerable amount of damage to Ferrothorn and such, even in the rain, and Scizor as well, and Genesect as well. But it's your call, whatever you want to run there. But yeah. This is just a crit machine. It's always going to crit, so Draco Meteor is the #1 choice, the #1 attack you want to be spamming, because Draco Meteor, whenever you get a crit, it totally like negates your special attack drop. So Draco Meteor is pretty much safe to use. It's 130 base power, 90% accurate move with no drawbacks, essentially. If you Scope Lens first, or not Scope Lens, if you Focus Energy before you use it. All your other attacks will also crit and negate the special attack drop, so there's that. The next move is Surf. You could also run Scald. Since Surf got nerfed a little bit in power, Scald is totally okay to run for the burn chance. But if you're going for just pure power, pure wall breaking power, run Surf. You could even run Hydro Pump, but I hate Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump sucks. It's not good. I would not run it. I hate Hydro Pump. Any chance this generation I can avoid using Hydro Pump, I will, in favor of Surf. That's just me though. I hate missing. I despise it. And then the final move is Hidden Power Fire, just to take out Ferrothorns, because your stab coverage is actually really good. It hits pretty much everything neutrally, except like rarely seen stuff like Empoleon and such. But Hidden Power Fire is there to maim Scizor, to maim Genesect, when it's coming in, of course, because it'll most likely outspeed you otherwise and you turn out. And it's also there to hit, you know, pretty much anything weak to fire that your other moves don't hit harder. The 4 times weak things, you know. So you could also run Ice Beam here, like I said, if you're using this on a rain team, or if you just want to take out I don't know, other dragon types and not want to risk missing Draco Meteor. I don't know. But Hidden Power Fire, I think, is the best option. Don't run something stupid like Hidden Power Poison, because a neutral Surf is more powerful than Hidden Power Poison, like, you know, for fairies and such. So there's that. But that's pretty much the set, guys. It is very interesting. I have not had a chance to try it out in battles, but you guys should try it out and let me know how it does, because I think it'll be very good against, I don't know, I think it'll be very, very good with like Wish support, just something to heal it up a little bit, and it could be either a Wall Breaker with Sniper or a Sweeper with Swift Swim. Either one, you know, pick your poison or whatever, and give it a try. And that's going to be the video, though, guys. I will see you on the next part. Please rate this if you enjoyed it, and I'm out. Peace. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and you guys should rate this video with a like rating because that would make me very, very happy. And if you give it 2,000 likes, you'll get another moveset video tomorrow. But today we're going to be covering another Mega. A Mega that isn't seen as much as some of the other ones, but is no doubt just as terrifying. A lot of the Megas, even though they're not as popular as some of the more used Mega evolutions like Kangaskhan and, you know, stuff like that, they're still incredibly dangerous, and this is one of them. But Mega Garchomp, I knew as soon as I looked at its stats after its Mega Evolution that Game Freak wanted this to be a flat-out wall breaker, because the power this thing has naturally is terrifying. This is pretty much like, I actually did the calcs and stuff, and Mega Garchomp actually outpowers Life Orb regular Garchomp in both attack and special attack. So this is meant to be a wall breaker strictly. Let's look at the stats. So the HP stayed the same. The attack went way up, sky high to base 170. The defense went up. The special defense went up, and the special attack went up. The only thing that went down is the speed, and that is unfortunate. But if this thing was as fast as the original Garchomp, it would probably be broken, because there'd be no reason to run regular Garchomp ever again, pretty much. But what this Garchomp does, it loses speed, unfortunately, but it gains incredible power with, and for that matter, added bulk, which it sucks we have to run a Naughty Nature for this particular set, but it serves a purpose, and I'll explain it in a second. But the first move on the list is Earthquake. Earthquake is pretty much mandatory. If you're not running Earthquake, you should not run Mega Garchomp. If you get a boost from Sand Force, it makes your Earthquake even more powerful, so you may want to use this on a Sand team. Just to show you the power of Earthquake, if a fully defensive Impish Hippowdon comes in and gives you Sand Force, a Sand Force boost, your Earthquake has like a 60-some% chance to 2-hit KO. And that's one of the, I think Hippowdon is the bulkiest physical wall in OU, if I'm not mistaken. So, and, you know, something else here. Let's see, like, fully defensive, bold Vaporeon gets 2-hit KO'd, has like a 90% chance to get 2-hit KO'd or something like that after Stealth Rock with Earthquake. So, as long as you have Stealth Rock on the field, you're pretty much going to 2-hit KO everything in the game as long as you pick the right move. Ferrothorn and Skarmory don't even stand a chance because of Fire Blast, but we'll get into that in a second. Basically, run Earthquake. Next move is Dragon Claw. Now, you can run Outrage, but with fairies and fast revenge killers like Genesect, I don't think locking yourself into Outrage is a very wise move. You can if you want, or you can even run Draco Meteor if you want to really be surprising and stuff, but generally speaking, a Dragon Claw coming off a base 170 attack is enough to maim anything that Earthquake doesn't hit. You're going to 2-hit KO Rotom Wash for sure. You know, the standard bulky Rotom Wash. Anything, I mean, I don't know. Dragon Claw, there's not much to be said. Just run Dragon Claw. If you really want the power, you can run Outrage. But Dragon Claw will get the job done, in my opinion, and save your Garchomp for when something comes in with a nice move ready to revenge kill it. But the next move is Fire Blast. Since Mega Garchomp got a nice buff to its special attack here, base 120, even minimally invested, it's, like I said, more powerful than like a Life Orb Garchomp, both in attack and special attack. So Fire Blast is going to roast Skarmory, it's going to roast Ferrothorn, it's going to roast Scizor, it's going to roast Genesect if you catch it on the switch, it's going to roast anything 4 times weak to it, and at the bare minimum 2-hit KO it. So Fire Blast is something you definitely want to run. It's pretty much the only way to touch Skarmory, and for that, it gets a recommendation alone. The final move is, now you can pick up several things here. I personally think for wall breaking power, you should pick Swords Dance. What Swords Dance will do is rocket your attack to almost 1,000 in one turn. That's what Swords Dance will do. Nothing will be able to survive a hit from Garchomp if you Swords Dance. Literally everything in the game will be O-code. And I'm not exaggerating. The only thing that won't be O-code is, like I said, Skarmory pretty much, and maybe fully physically defensive Fortress, but you have Fire Blast for that. So Swords Dance is definitely an option if you don't want to predict a switch or whatever and try to predict a move to 2-hit KO something. Just Swords Dance. Then you don't have to. Everything's dead after that. You could also run Substitute here. Substitute is a fantastic move to run. You could also run something else like Draco Meteor, but like I said, a fully invested attack Dragon Claw actually outdamages Draco Meteor over 2 turns. So just run Dragon Claw. That's what I would do, or Outrage. You could put Outrage here as well if you really wanted to as well. If the opponent doesn't have Fairy types, or like something weird like, you know, just something weird like Mamoswine, which isn't seen very often now in 5th gen and OU. You know, run Outrage. Swords Dance, though, I think is just the premier move for this because it just makes Earthquake and Dragon Claw that much more powerful without being locked into a move and able to be easily revenge killed. The EVs are pretty straightforward. We run a Naughty Nature, which lowers special defense. Unfortunately, you lose out on that little added bulk, but it's better to lower your special defense than your physical defense because that is some nice bulk going on. Very nice physical defense there. We have 252 in attack, and nothing much needs to be said about that. Max attack, max damage. We got 16 left over from the lack of speed to put in special attack just to give your Fire Blast a little bit more oomph. And we have 240 speed to outspeed up to Timid Heatran and Adamant Lucario. And unfortunately, it misses out on outspeeding max speed base 80s. But that's a small flaw in Garchomp's, a small kink in Garchomp's armor. So 280 speed's what you want to aim for. You could go slower, but you risk being like burned by Rotom Wash. You risk being Hidden Power iced by Heatran. So it's up to you, you know, what you want to run. But I would run 280 and just run 16 in special attack because you don't really need the rest for anything. You could also take out 16 of this and put it in HP if you want just a little bit more bulk, but that's pretty minuscule. It's up to you though. And that's pretty much the Garchomp set, guys. Pretty much a pure devastating wall breaker. I've faced this thing many a times and have underestimated it, and it's actually done some work and swept my team. It's so bulky too. Anything that's not super effective is probably not going to kill it. Even with the lowered SPDEF, 203 without any investment and 357 HP without any investment is still pretty bulky. And on the physical side of things, it's very bulky still. 266 defense, that's bulkier than a max HP Rotom Wash on the physical side. So the bulky set, that is. So yeah, guys, that's Mega Garchomp. Ultimate wall breaker, pretty much. It might not sweep a team, but it will definitely weaken shit so that you can sweep with something else. If you run Sticky Web Support, it actually can sweep. Take that back. So Sticky Web Support is a thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, and I will bring you another moveset very soon. Peace out. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please rate this video with a like rating. Please support these moveset videos. If you do want to see more, I will keep pumping them out constantly for you guys to try and use, because I love making sets on this game. But today we're going to cover Mega Gardevoir, and this was a very requested Mega Evolution that I should cover in a moveset video. And I've tried a few different sets, and they've all been kind of average. Like, it's not a bad Mega, it's just a little too slow, and its defense is too low. Like, its special attack got buffed to an insane 165 base. Its special defense got buffed to an insane 135. Its speed got buffed a little bit, which gives it the nice base 100 tier, which you don't have to fully invest in. necessarily. And that's all good, but its base defense is terrible. I kind of wish they would have made its base defense 135, its special defense lower, and then kept its speed the same. But that's just me. Like base 80, and then this be like base 115 or whatever, and then this be base 85 or something. You know, something like that would have been much better. But alas, they did not. But Mega Gardevoir is still usable because it has an amazing ability. Pixelate turns normal moves into fairy moves and multiplies the damage by 1.3, so it's essentially a free Life Orb boost without Life Orb recoil or without equipping a Life Orb, whatever. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. And it turns your normal moves into fairy moves, so that makes Hyper Voice a much more attractive option than, say, Moonblast, because it does get the 1.3 times boost. And this set might seem weird, and the EVs might seem weird, but I'm going to explain it as best I can. I have 184 speed, Timid, to outspeed up to Jolly Landorus T, and I have this is also enough to outspeed like Jolly Lucario before it Mega Evolves and kill it with Hyper Voice. If it doesn't have Bullet Punch, you can live in extreme speed, and if it's a special variant, you can outspeed it before it Mega Evolves and kill it with Hyper Voice. But another thing you want to note is that before Mega Evolving, make sure your Gardevoir, your normal Gardevoir, has Trace and not Synchronize. You do not want Synchronize. Run Trace. Trust me, Trace is amazing for coming in on things like Heatran locked into Fire Blast, like a Choice Heatran, or just a bulky Heatran in general. You can come in on a Lava Plume or something, and then set up a sub in its face as if it tries to like Toxic you or something like that, and then just go to town on it. But yeah, this is that's about as much speed as I would run, because if you invest fully, you're only going to tie with base 100s, and slightly slower things like Haxorus, Hydreigon, and Genesect. They aren't, well, the first two aren't seen often, and Genesect is like scarfed 99% of the time. So you can run more, but I choose to invest that little bit in HP just for added bulk. It's up to you though. But then we have 252 in special attack. It gets to a nice 429, a very dangerous and nice 429. And then we have the remaining EVs dumped into HP just to give it some added bulk in order for you to set up substitutes on weak special attackers a little bit easier and keep them up easier. But I should probably explain what this set does and why to use it and all that. It's a little bit gimmicky, but I made it with the intent to be fun. The first move is Substitute, because Substitute pretty much protects you from the rampant priority in OU. There's so much priority. If you can set up a Substitute on like a weak special attacker or on a switch and then kill something, you will be in a very, very, very good position, because they usually only have one priority user and or one Scarfer on a team. Rarely do they have two, but between Aegislash, Scissor, Gale Wings, Talonflame, Bullet Punch Lucario, there is so much dangerous priority, and it's mostly physical, and that hits you on your weak defense side. So I would run Substitute. I would run Substitute to stop that mess, stop those shenanigans. You know, Substitute on a predicted status attack, Substitute on a weak special attacker, or even a relatively strong one you can probably sub on, because that base 135 special defense don't play no games. They don't play no games. But yeah, Substitute is a very important move if you want to secure a sweep with this. The next move is Shadow Ball. This gives pretty much perfect neutral coverage that I know of. There may be like one or two random rare Pokemon, rarely seen Pokemon that counter it. But between Shadow Ball and Hyper Voice, you pretty much have perfect neutral coverage this gen. You could always run Focus Blast here as well, but then you're kind of walled by Gengar a little bit. I mean, Hyper Voice after the Pixelate boost will still do a lot, but I prefer Shadow Ball. That's just me. I don't like Focus Blast. It's got terrible accuracy, and really the only thing it hits like harder is maybe like Heatran or something. So run Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is really good, and you know, it synergizes incredibly well with Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice will be your main attack to use to break down walls and such, but if you manage to weaken an entire team and get behind a sub, or if they don't have like a Scarfer, or if their Scarfer's like a special attacker like Keldeo or something, or if their priority users are gone, you don't need to sub up. But the final move on this is something a little weird and a little gimmicky, but it's Echoed Voice. Now, you might be asking yourself, what the hell is Echoed Voice? You might not know what it is. Echoed Voice is a move that increases in power each turn it is used, kind of like Fury Cutter. The problem with Echoed Voice is I only saw it used, or I only saw it pretty much used on like Scarf Togekiss last gen, which is a rare thing anyway. But essentially what you do is you Echoed Voice, and it starts out really weak at a paltry like 40 base power, but it increases by 40 each turn. So the second turn it'll do 80, the third turn it'll do 120, and the fourth turn it'll do 160, etc, etc. What makes this move so good for Mega Gardevoir in securing a sweep is if there's nothing like a Heatran that like super resists Echoed Voice, by the third turn it's going to be doing incredible damage. You might want to come in and sub on like a defensive Rotom or something, Echoed Voice on it, and then by the second turn it's pretty much comparable to Hyper Voice's power. Like the first turn, let's see, after stab is 60, and then multiplied by 1.3 is 78, so it's a 78 power move the first turn, like 150 or something the next turn, and then by the third turn it's like over 200 or something like that, and if you keep using it, it gets stronger and stronger, and that's how you want to secure a sweep with this thing. As long as Heatran's not around, you can pretty much spam it, because even things that resist it will be taking an ass ton of damage after 2 turns. After 1 turn it'll do an ass load of damage for that matter, because it's 80 after that, and that's only 10 behind Hyper Voice here. So if you want to secure a sweep with this thing and not just break down walls with Hyper Voice or Shadow Ball, use Echoed Voice and use it over and over. You have to use it consecutively. You can't like stop using it and then use Shadow Ball or something. You have to use it consecutively, but by the third turn it's going to be so powerful, even a resisted hit is going to do like 120 damage, and that's resisted. That's crazy. So yeah, as long as you keep using Echoed Voice, it will get stronger and stronger and secure you a sweep. Now, I have tested this set briefly. It does work, and I did get a sweep with Echoed Voice. Unfortunately, I was not recording, but you guys should definitely try this set out. Let me know how it fares. I'm not that experienced with this set, and it's a little bit gimmicky with Echoed Voice, but I think it would be a lot of fun, and I think you guys would definitely enjoy using it and have fun using it. So give it a try. Let me know if there's anything I can improve on in the set or whatever, or if you want to run something else other than Echoed Voice. You can always run Wish here if you don't feel like running that. Wish is good for, you know, healing up, obviously. You can run, I don't know, you can make this like a wall Gardevoir, invest fully in HP and defense or something, and run Wish, Protect, like Will-O-Wisp or Toxic and Hyper Voice. That's a thing too, but that role is pretty much better with Sylveon, I think. Sylveon definitely outclasses it in that particular role. You can also run Psychic in this slot over here over Echoed Voice, because it, you know, gives you super effective damage against poison types. That's a thing, but it's up to you. I think Echoed Voice is really cool though, and I think it works really well with Pixelate. That's just my opinion. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like or rating, and yeah, give the set a try. Let me know what you think. Peace. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Pokemon moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please rate this, support the moveset videos. That would be phenomenal. Please and thank you. And in before, this gets walled by, you know, this random and new Pokemon, Magikarp, what was this? Before those comments flood the comment section, this Mega is as close to uncounterable as you can get, as long as you predict right and as long as you know what you're doing. And before you say Blissey walls this, you can run Psyshock. Psyshock is totally a thing that you could do. But Mega Alakazam, it's a mixed bag. It gets an amazing ability in Trace, but it loses an amazing ability in Magic Guard, so you can no longer do Revenge Kill shenanigans with like Magic Guard Focus Sash stuff. But you want to make sure that your stock Alakazam before Mega Evolving does have Magic Guard, maybe to give off the illusion that you are that set or something. Maybe not Mega Evolve immediately. If there's a lot of hazards on the field, especially. But Trace is also useful because you can come in on like a Heatran's predicted Fire Blast, Trace the Flash Fire, and not even get damage. You can come in on like a Blissey pretty much for free, Blissey or Chansey. Not fearing status because you have Natural Cure and you can switch out. If it doesn't status, then you can Psyshock it to death and all that mess. Regenerator Pokemon are great to come in on because even if they hit you, you can regen health, which is a cool thing to do. But Trace is a very valuable thing and something you should use wisely. You can even use it on like a Choice Scarf Genesect that's locked into something like an Ice Beam that's unboosted with download. Trace its download and hopefully get a special attack boost and then go to town. But let's go over the EVs and stuff now and stop talking about the ability. Now, Mega Alakazam, I think, did get a buff to defense slightly, and maybe HP, don't quote me on that. I don't think it might not have on HP, I'm not exactly sure. But what it did get buffed on was its two strongest stats anyway, which were its speed and special attack. Its special attack is a monstrous 175. That is ridiculous. That is stronger than a timid Life Orb Alakazam. And if you're running Modest, you're also faster than the default timid regular Alakazam. Which is why I would recommend running Modest because you're so damn fast that pretty much nothing's going to outspeed you in OU except other Alakazam that may be timid. But I think running timid is a bit of a waste because you're only going to speed tie with like opposing Mega Alakazam and if they are timid and opposing Jolly like Mega Aerodactyl, and that's about it. I would just run Modest for the big boost in power you get. You get a mighty like almost, I think it's almost 50 extra points in special attack, nearing 500. And like I said, that's more powerful than timid Life Orb Alakazam. So run Modest, bar none, run Modest. But this set, what you want to do moveset wise is I would run Substitute. Why would I run Substitute? I'll tell you. Let's go over the moves though first, real quick. They're pretty simple. Shadow Ball, it's reliable. Hits Ghost types. Hits Celebi. Hits it hard. Run it. It's good. Steel types no longer resist Shadow Ball, so it's a safe bet over Focus Blast if you don't want to miss. Focus Blast is there though to like kill any kind of Tyranitar. Pretty much kill anything weak to fighting. If it's weak to it, it's pretty much going to die if its name's not Blissey or Chansey. And then Psychic's there for stab. You could run Psyshock to take out Blissey and possibly Chansey, depending on how it's EV'd. I'm not sure if that's going to be a 2-hit KO, though. Maybe after Rocks it would be. But Psychic or Psyshock, it's your choice. I'm picking Psychic just because most of the time you can run teammates that can easily deal with like a Blissey or something. Like really the only reason to run it is pretty much for Blissey and random special walls, which I don't know, there's not that many pure specially defensive Pokemon right now in the X and Y metagame because it's very offensive. So I would run Psychic just for more power. But the most important move on the set, in my opinion, is Substitute. Now, what does Substitute do? Why would you use Substitute when you could run like HP Fire or HP Ice? Well, the answer is simple. This Alakazam lacks Magic Guard and Focus Sash, but it's got insane power, and it's got insane speed. The one downfall it has is, again, and I covered this in my Mega Gardevoir video yesterday, priority. There's a ton of priority in OU right now. You got Gale Wings, Talonflame, Scissor, Aegislash, etc., etc. Wouldn't it be nice if you could, you know, just totally negate that and not have to worry about those priority abusing douchers? Yes, it would. Substitute does that. Substitute protects you from status. It protects you from priority attacks. If you can get behind a sub on a predicted status or come in on something and trace its ability and maybe substitutes with, I don't know, some kind of boost or something like that, especially if they're choice locked, or if they predict a switch. Like, this thing's so dangerous, or if you predict a switch I should say, this thing's so dangerous that one little prediction is all it takes to sweep a team. If you get behind a sub, it's pretty much game over unless they have two priority things or they like have a Scarfer and a priority user or whatever. But if a team is sufficiently weakened, it's pretty much GG. This is also very, very, very useful for Mega Kangaskhan. Mega Kangaskhan is very dangerous. It has a Sucker Punch that hits twice. You can sub on a predicted Sucker Punch. If it doesn't have a boost, you should be able to live the second Sucker Punch if they go for it. Because the second move for Mega Kangaskhan, excuse me, is weaker. So as long as they don't have like a +2 from Power Up Punch, you should be able to take that no problem. It will break your sub, but you will kill it with Focus Blast. So, or if it's weak enough, you can run Psychic and not even have to worry about Focus Blast's bad accuracy. But that's pretty much the set. It's just playing mind games with your opponent. Mega Alakazam is so dangerous that they might stay in and not sub, and you can just get a free kill on something. It might be even best to hide the fact that you have Substitute, come in on something you know you can one-shot with its insane special attack, and just fire off attacks regardless, maybe to weaken a team a little bit, and then later on in the match, substitute and go for a sweep. But yeah, that's the moveset, guys. Mega Alakazam is good, maybe not like super good as I don't know, Mega Lucario or Mega Venusaur or Mega Charizard X and stuff like that, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all, and you can get some nice sweeps going on. You can break walls with it, with its amazing special attack. The world is your oyster, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Pokemon moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please like this video. That would be great. That would be phenomenal. And today we're going to be covering Mega Aerodactyl, and this is a Mega I have not seen very often. I have used this set to pretty good effect. As long as priority stuff is out of the way, you're pretty much guaranteed a sweep. You know, Choice Scarf stuff as well. But this thing is really fast. It's got a nice base 135 attack. It got a nice boost to defense and special defense. So some, you know, a little bit out of bulk there. Not amazing, but enough to live some powerful unresisted hits. Maybe a Choice Scarf close combat from something. I don't know. But it's definitely not bad. It's definitely not bad. It's not as good as other Megas. It's kind of got the stat spread of just like a good OU Pokemon, but the fact that you can't, you know, put another item on it is a downer. But yeah, this set, it's nothing too complex. Nothing too complex. And we'll talk about Tough Claws when I get down to Roost, because you can run something other than Roost if you want to, and I will tell you what to run in a second. But the EVs are pretty straightforward. You want to run Adamant because this thing's already incredibly fast, and you know, the Adamant version of this outspeeds the Jolly version of regular Aerodactyl. So that tells you how fast it is. You really don't need to add speed unless you're trying to outspeed Mega Alakazam, but then you lose power, and at that point you might as well just run regular Aerodactyl with a Life Orb, because the whole purpose of this is that it's slightly more powerful than regular Aerodactyl with a Life Orb, and you don't have the Life Orb recoil, and you have added bulk. So there's that. Put 4 in defense or special defense. I put it in defense in case I want to live like a weak priority attack or something. Maybe maybe like a Bullet Punch from Mega Lucario where it hasn't Swords Dance. I'm not sure if you can even live that, but just something like that, you know, or not unresisted. Maybe like Mach Punches from Conkeldurr. You can live those. It's neutral. So I put 4 in defense. I don't put any in HP because an odd number will give you a guaranteed 5 Stealth Rock switch-ins if you don't take any damage. So always run an odd number on things weak to Stealth Rock. But yeah, those are the EVs. Just pretty simple. You know, maxed out attack, maxed out speed, 4 in defense. Let's get to the set though, and like I said, we'll talk about the ability in a second. The first move is a Home Claws. What Home Claws does is it boosts your attack and it boosts your accuracy by 1. This makes Stone Edge never miss, and this is a huge thing because Stone Edge likes to miss a lot, especially for me. Anything below 90 accuracy always misses a lot for me, and I don't like it. So a Home Claws not only boosts your attack, but it also remedies the fact that you're running Stone Edge. Stone Edge will be 100% accurate, and Rock is one of the best attacking types in the game. To complement this, we have Earthquake. Although it doesn't get a boost from Home Claws, it gives like fantastic coverage. There are very few Pokemon that resist or are immune to the Edgequake combo. And Edgequake is just fantastic coverage. You really don't need much more than this. The only thing you can't really hit an OU with this is Breloom, I'd say. Everything else gets hit really hard and will not like taking either of these moves, especially after a Hone Claws. The fourth and final move is a toss-up. You can run Roost. I personally run Roost on mine because I like Roost. It gives me, chances to set up with Hone Claws and heal up if I need to from like weak attackers. But there are things you can run outside of this, and the main thing I would run would be Fire Fang, because Fire Fang is the only move that unfortunately gets to use Mega Aerodactyl's awesome ability, Tough Claws. Stone Edge and Earthquake are not contact moves. They do not get the buff from Tough Claws. Fire Fang does. So if you really hate Ferrothorn or Scissor, you want to catch Scissor coming in, or something like that, there's a lot of stuff that's 4 times weak or 2 times weak to fire that will get really, they'll get messed up by Fire Fang, because after the 1.33 times boost, I think it's around 90 power, 80, 90 power, so it's definitely not weak. It'll also hit Skarmory harder than any other move you have, although Skarmory can pretty much take anything unless you get like 2 Hone Claws boosts. But yeah, you can run Fire Fang there if you want, but with Stealth Rock on the field and, damage you'll take setting up, I kind of prefer Roost, but it's up to you, totally up to you. You could also run something like Crunch if you really wanted to, maybe because it gets a Tough Claws boost, it's strong, it takes out bulky, like, ghost types like Trevenant and stuff like that. So you could do that if you really wanted to, but I don't know. I kind of prefer Roost or Fire Fang. That's just me. But that's pretty much the set, guys. It's definitely not bad. Give it a try. I know it's probably not as good as other Megas, and it's probably not good enough to take over like another Mega slot, but it's definitely not bad. It's pretty good actually. Like I said, I've used it and it works reasonably well. You just gotta watch out for priority mainly. You can play around Scarf stuff, but priority is always a problem. Aqua Jet, Bullet Punch, that stuff's running rampant. So you can take extreme speeds and Mach Punches pretty well though, so that's a thing. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I am out though. Peace. Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please rate this video with a like rating. That would be phenomenal, awesome, cool. It'd make me a happy camper. It'd make me pitch a tent in my pants. Alright, so today we're going to be covering Aegislash though, and this is a very interesting Pokemon because, well, it has this nifty little ability called Stance Change. And I'm sure you've used Aegislash by now and know how it works, but I'm going to explain it briefly. Anyway, basically, if you're using offensive moves, attacking moves, you're going to go into attack form, and your base stats with your defense and special defense will switch with your attack and special attack. So it's as simple as that. If you use like King Shield or Swords Dance or whatever, I'm not sure if Swords Dance puts you back into defensive mode. Don't quote me on that. You might have to look it up on Bulbapedia. But I know King Shield does, and I think Protect does as well. So that's the thing. But yeah, that's basically the ability. It makes it so that you can be either defensive with these base stats, even without any investment. You have some pretty nice defenses. And the offensive version, as you can see, is monstrous if you invest in attack and special attack and such. But let's go over the EVs and explain what I'm trying to accomplish with them, because I don't think I've seen this particular Aegislash set used yet in battle. If somebody has used it, I haven't faced them. Mostly I see Swords Dance, King Shield, Shadow Sneak, and like Sacred Sword, or even a Totemize with like Sticky Web support to outspeed everything, and like Iron Head to flinch and stuff. Basically that's what I've seen. But this set is a little different because it utilizes both of Aegislash's amazing special attack and attack stats in the physical form, which I will go back to that right now and show you just how devastating it is. But first, the EVs. The EVs are very important. Now, since we have 2 physical attacks and 1 special attack, as well as a priority move on the physical side in Shadow Sneak, I choose to run a Brave Nature to boost my attack without hurting my special attack, and we don't really need speed. In fact, it's actually better if we're slower because we can attack with like a Sacred Sword or a Shadow Ball after defensive mode. How do I explain this? You'll get hit first in defensive mode, then you'll go into attack mode, then you'll hit them, and then you can King Shield next turn, which has priority, and not have to take a hit while in the attack form because your defenses in attack form are abysmal. So that is why you want really low speed. In fact, you may even want to run like no IVs, but then you risk getting outsped by other Aegislashes, Shadow Sneaks, although you can live them and hit them. It's up to you though. Whatever you want to do, the world is your oyster. It's up to you, but this is pretty much slow enough for me personally, although Azumarill is naturally slower than you, so you may want to lower it. Like I said, it's up to you. Might as well just run it as slow as you possibly can. Actually, now looking at back on it, but we have 252 in attack, 252 in special attack, and 4 in special defense. So Genesect does not get a special attack boost with download. We don't want to take a +1 flamethrower, especially not in attack form. So yeah. But let's explain the set here and explain why I'm running a mixed attacker over something like a Swords Dance set. It's because basically it's harder to wall. Even without a Life Orb, I choose to run Leftovers instead of a Life Orb because with King Shield it helps me recover some, puts me back in defensive mode, and even though I'm not invested in HP, I'm invested in both attacks. You still have reasonable bulk. I mean, these defenses are great. It's like 336, 337 with 4 EVs in special defense, so 336 in defense, 337 in special defense. Even with my low HP, that's still some solid bulk, very solid bulk. So, but yeah, anyway, let's explain the attacks here. We have Sacred Sword and Shadow Ball as our big heavy hitting moves. These moves have pretty much perfect coverage together, and I'm pretty sure nothing resists it in the game. I could be wrong, but these moves are phenomenal together, and even without a Life Orb, you're going to be hitting hard off this 438 attack stat and 399 special attack stat. Life Orb kind of hurts your longevity. I prefer Leftovers. You can run Life Orb for more power, but a solid plan and what I have done with this set personally is use one of my big attacking moves, either Sacred Sword or Shadow Ball, and then finish off the enemy with a Shadow Sneak. And you really can't handle that coming off these attack stats. Usually a defensive Pokemon is invested in either defense or special defense. This allows you to hit either. So let's say a Hippowdon comes in expecting like a physical set, a Swords Dance. You nail it with a Shadow Ball. That's probably going to take it down to about half health. You can hit it again after that, and I don't know if you can take an Earthquake, but okay, that's a bad example. You get what I'm saying though. Hippowdon are usually physically bulky, expecting a strong physical attack from you. You hit them with a strong special attack, it maims them. This is pretty much a bulky wall breaker set, and because you're not using the Swords Dance variant, which usually just uses Shadow Sneak and Sacred Sword, or Shadow Claw and Sacred Sword, or Iron Head and Shadow Claw, you know, one of those variants. This allows you to not get walled as easy because the Swords Dance set has checks. A straight up special attack set has checks in the form of specially defensive Pokemon and in the form of defensive Pokemon in the first example. This set does not have as many checks. Skarmory comes in. This is a good example. Skarmory comes in. It's going to set up hazards on you because it knows you can't do anything to it. It can roost off damage. If you want to Swords Dance a lot, it can Whirlwind you away. You smack it with a Shadow Ball and threaten to KO it. That's a good example right there. This Aegislash, like I said, is much harder to wall. I like it a lot. I think this is its best set. I could be wrong there. I mean, it's my opinion. I guess I can't be wrong. But in my opinion, it is its best set, and I like it a lot. Now, there's one more thing I want to cover before the video ends, though, and that is King Shield. King Shield protects you from attacks and lowers their attack stat by 2. So that's useful in the sense if they attack. If they don't, that's bad. You don't want a King Shield when somebody's like can potentially Swords Dance or Dragon Dance or even status you. Unfortunately, King Shield does not protect you from status, so if you really wanted to, you could run Protect here. You could run just something else, but I don't know. King Shield and Protect are too good to pass up because they put you back in defensive form. So Protect could totally be used over King Shield if you fear status, because usually people will status you or set up if they predict the King Shield, so that's something you got to watch out for. I'm 99% sure, like 99.9% sure that Protect also puts you back into defensive form. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. I'm not quite sure. I have not tested it, but you know, King Shield or Protect in the last slot is very important. You could run something else like another attack or even Swords Dance or something just to go all out offensive and make them think you have King Shield because it's so common. But I don't know. I think King Shield and Protect are very, very valuable for Aegislash. But anyway, guys, that's going to conclude the video. Give this set a try. Let me know if you like it better than the regular Swords Dance set. Let me know if you like it better than the full Special Attacker set. That's something else I've seen. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you later. Peace out. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Pokemon X and Y moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and this is a much requested, a heavily requested Mega. So if you guys could please leave a like rating, that would be fantastic, and would make me about as horny as Mr. Houndoom is here with its horns on its head. But anyway, this is Mega Houndoom, and Mega Houndoom is pretty darn awesome. It got a nice new ability, which, by the way, if you're running regular Houndoom, you you have to run Flash Fire with this, because an immunity to fire attacks and the ability to make them even stronger is a must. So run Flash Fire. I guess you could run Early Bird if you want to switch into like Breloom, but it's got Mach Punch, so I don't know why you'd ever want to do that. But you know, generally speaking, run Flash Fire. And that way when you Mega Evolve, you could get a boost before you Mega Evolve from a fire attack. That's totally plausible. But yeah, Mega Houndoom is pretty darn awesome. Solar Power essentially gives it a choice specs for free in the sun with the ability to switch moves. And not only that, well, it's not really for free. You lose 1/8 of your max HP. So you got to keep rocks off the field. Keep a Defogger around. Keep a Spinner around. Keep a Magic Bouncer around. Rocks are no bueno. Entry hazards in general are no bueno. That's the only real downfall to Mega Houndoom. That and the fact that it needs Sun to be really effective. But the EVs are pretty simple. 361, base 115 speed. It got a nice buff to speed, huge buff to special attack. So if I were you, I would max out speed, because that 115 speed will tie you with, you know, Timid Starmie, Timid Azelf, stuff like that. It'll outspeed base 110s like Gengar and Latios and Latios and stuff, and you can hit them with a Dark Pulse before they can do anything. But anywho, 252 in special attack will give it a nice 379, and that's gonna skyrocket with the solar power boost. And I run 4 in defense because I don't want to even number in HP in case I need to survive stealth rock switch-ins. If you have something weak to rocks, I'd always run it with an odd HP number. And I put 4 in defense, so Genesect does not get a attack boost and can't U-turn on us, because that would be its most powerful attack against us. I mean, I guess you could run special defense as well. It really doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, I just choose defense. But anyway, let's get on to the moveset. Now, you don't have to run Sunny Day if you are running this on a Sun team. Like, if you want to run Ninetales with Heat Rock, that's totally cool. Or something else that can set up Sunny Day on your team, that's totally cool as well. And you don't have to run Sunny Day. But I do, because if you want to use this standalone, then Sunny Day is essential, because then you can use Solar Beam without a charge up turn. You can use Fire Blast and it be insanely powerful. And Dark Pulse doesn't get a boost, well, it does from Solar Power. But you know what I mean. And this is actually really good coverage. Fire, Dark, and Grass is actually really good coverage. It hits pretty much everything neutrally, I think, except like Hydreigon. I think it's the only thing that really can take any hit from this set. So, but nobody uses Hydreigon, so, or anymore. So that's, you know, that's the thing. But Anywho, if you don't want to run Sunny Day, you're running this on a Sun team, you can totally run, what I would recommend would be Hidden Power Ground, because Heatran is actually a pretty solid counter, especially defensive variant, and it can like Earth Power you or roar you out or set up rocks on you or whatever. So Hidden Power Ground will decimate it. I'm not sure if it'll OHKO it, but it'll put a huge dent in it. Heatran in general, I think, has the bulk to take any one hit, like if it's off an offensive variant. So, like I said, Hidden Power Ground is pretty darn essential because it can take a Solar Power Dark Pulse pretty much no problem. Even the offensive variant, like I said. But Hidden Power Ground will do some work. You could run the, neutral attack, or what is it? It's like plus speed minus defense, or plus speed minus special defense nature, and run Sucker Punch in the first slot here, but it's pretty situational. Houndoom got a big buff to speed. It's not that good, especially since its attack didn't get buffed either. Pretty much just its special attack. So its attack is going to be really weak. The Sucker Punch is not going to be that good. I mean, it might be good for outspeeding and taking out things like, I don't know, Genesect, and you could probably like not run any special attack and then put it all on attack and make it a pretty fearsome mixed attacker if you really wanted to. But I think it's just better if you just invest it all in special attack and just go ham with special attacks. That's my opinion. But you could run Sucker Punch there or Hidden Power Ground. It's up to you though. If you're running this for sure not on a Sun team, I'm stuttering, sorry. Not on a Sun team, you really want to run Sunny Day. It's essential. Solar Beam, Fire Blast, Dark Pulse. It's pretty easy to get from there. Just basic stab attacks and Solar Beam to maim ground, or not. Well, yeah, ground and water type Pokemon, which tend to be pretty darn bulky. And yeah, but be careful if there's like an opposing Politoed on the other team, because if Politoed comes in, it's going to set up Rain, and then Solar Beam is going to take 2 turns and be half power, and you're going to die. So be very careful. If you can predict it coming in and Sunny Day then after it's already in, then Solar Beam away. But if you can't, then I would not lock myself into it. It's too risky. But that's pretty much the Houndoom set, guys. It's pretty awesome. I like this, and it looks kind of like Satan. It's pretty sweet. Good message it's sending to the kids. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like rating, and I'm out. Peace. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Pokemon Moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please like this video with a like rating. That would be pretty darn awesome, and make my hair stand on end like MEGAMAN here, which looks like a Zeus Thunderbolt. I just kind of realized that. That's pretty awesome. Anyway, MEGAMAN, this is a Mega that has been heavily requested as well, but I don't really see why, because it's fairly simple to make a set around, and before you just see these moves and go make the set, stick around, because there are other options you can run, and they're very, very, very viable as well. So stick around. 2 moves in particular, 3 moves in particular are very important. So stick around and hear what I have to say. The EV spread is fairly simple. We're running HP Ice for this particular spread, so what I want to do is not lower my attack and defense by 1, because lowering the defense by 1 is bad for our bulk. We want to lower our speed by 1. This will give us a full power Hidden Power Ice, unless something changed this gen, but it's always given me a full power Hidden Power Ice just by lowering the speed by 1. It's an alternate IV spread for Hidden Power Ice, so we do that because we're not maxing out our speed. Manectric is very fast. We want just enough speed to outspeed modest base 150 or adamant base 150 Pokemon like Mega Aerodactyl and Mega Alakazam, because more than likely they're going to be running a positive attack or special attack nature and not a speed nature. So we want to run it, get it to 400, outspeed pretty much everything in the OU metagame. Base 130s you will outspeed as well. They hit 396, so you will outspeed things like Jolteon, things like regular Aerodactyl, stuff like that. So yeah, 400 speed is where you want to hit. Aside from that, we max out special attack because it's a special attacker, and then we put the remaining in HP because MEGAMAN gets Intimidate, which I'm sure you know what Intimidate does by now, but lowers the opposing attacker's defense by 1. MEGAMAN is actually a really good stop to Talonflame because it resists its priority Brave Bird, priority Acrobatics, and it's faster, so it doesn't get hit by a Flare Blitz. So you can come in on one, maybe not like a hard switch, but come in on one like after something dies or you Volt Turn into it or whatever, and you'll be in a good position. Now the moveset gets a little bit more tricky. This is the hard part probably. It's relatively easy just to throw these moves on and be done with it, and these moves are good, but there's some other options. Flamethrower is to roast, the Bug Steel types, the Grass Steel types that Plago use, Scissor, Genesect. You have to catch Genesect on the switch though, because it's usually Scarf, and Ferrothorn. I already said Ferrothorn, but Scissor, Genesect, Ferrothorn, Fortress, things like that. Things that are weak to fire. Run Flamethrower. You could run Overheat, it's totally an option, but there's a chance to miss. Flamethrower coming off a base 135 special attack is still going to hurt like everything. I think it's going to kill just about everything that is 4 times weak to it. It'll hurt grass types a lot, but if you want to hurt grass types more, you can totally use Overheat. And next we have Thunderbolt, which is pretty much a staple. You don't want to run Thunder unless you're running a Ring team, but even then, Electro Ball is another option, but again, unless you're running like a Paralysis team, you don't really want to run that. Thunderbolt's reliable, it hits hard, pretty much essential for this set, if nothing else. Like you can run Overheat or something else or whatever, Hidden Power Grass, but run Thunderbolt no matter what. Next we have Volt Switch, and this isn't a necessity. This is to give us momentum. MEGAMAN does force switches, so Volt Switch is totally awesome. Gets Stab, gives you offensive momentum by switching out into something else, and it's awesome. But since MEGAMAN is going to force switches, and since you're already running T-Bolt on this set, you can totally run like Substitute or something. Substitute protects you from priority. It will allow you to get a big hit on something, like maybe this guy might switch out into like a ground type. You can Substitute, Hidden Power Ice, and 2-hit KO it. That's totally a thing you could do. They might get scared and go out in the Genesect or something, and then think oh, I'll just U-turn out, break his sub, and go into something else, but you can predict that. Substitute as he U-turns and keep a sub up against something very dangerous like a defensive Rotom. And most likely 2-hit KO it with Thunderbolt, because they do run mostly physical defense counter Talonflame now. So Volt Switch is totally a thing that can be switched out for Substitute. Substitute's awesome. You have to worry about sound moves going through it this gen and stuff with Infiltrator going through it this gen, but generally speaking, Substitute's a good alternative for Volt Switch if you want to run it. Finally, we have Hidden Power Ice, and Electric Ice gives the Bolt Beam coverage, which is, I think, only resisted by Lantern, or countered by Lantern, which is not used at all. So Hidden Power Ice is awesome for hitting grass types, but since you already have, and ground types for that matter, but since you already have Flamethrower to handle grass types, you can run Hidden Power Grass if your heart so desires. Hidden Power Ice hits things like Gliscor and Landorus and Dragonite, Salamence, Garchomp really hard. Hits them especially hard, even with the slight nerf to Hidden Power. But Hidden Power Grass will get you past your #1 walls in like Gastrodon and Swampert and stuff like that. Those aren't used that often, so Hidden Power Ice is probably what I would recommend. But Hidden Power Grass can get you by those walls, and it hits grass and or not grass. It hits it hits grass and ground types. Excuse me. Relatively hard, probably harder than anything else on the list. Well, grass types get hit harder by Flamethrower, but ground types get hit harder by Hidden Power Ice. So it's up to you what you want to run though. And anyway, guys, that's the moveset. Relatively simple. MEGAMAN is good though. I've seen a guy use it on a really high-rated team, like 2,200 points on the ladder, and he used it to great effect. He used pretty much this set. I'm not sure of his EVs, but these are the EVs I would recommend. And anyway, that's the moveset, guys. I will see you guys later. Peace out. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please leave a like rating on this video. That would be phenomenal. Thank you kindly. Today we're covering Mega Heracross. We're busting out We're busting through the Megas and we're getting toward the end. And today I want to cover Mega Heracross, because Mega Heracross is a Pokemon that I've seen used wrongly, I want to say. A lot of people will run this with sticky web support, and that's great. You can totally do that. Hell, I have done that before with a Mega Heracross with a sticky web team. Totally viable, but they've used the wrong moves. And you might be asking yourself, what do you mean they've used the wrong moves? Is there wrong moves to use in Pokemon? Well, yeah. See, Mega Heracross gets this nifty ability with Skill Link. And Skill Link, you might know that from Cloyster's Reign of Terror and OU last generation. But Skill Link lets you hit multi-hit moves the maximum number of times. What this does is it lets Pin Missile be more powerful than Mega Horn, more accurate than Mega Horn, and lets Rock Blast be more accurate than Stone Edge and more powerful than Stone Edge. The big mistake I saw as far as Mega Heracross goes would be they would either run it with Close Combat, which would lower its great defensive buff, or they'd run that move, that weaker fighting move that hits 5 times. It's like a max power of 75. Even if all the hits connect, it's not that good. They'd run that, and then in the 4th move slot, they'd run something weird like Bullet Seed, which is kind of redundant coverage-wise. It's really only good against one thing, but we'll cover that later. Anyway, though, that's what I usually saw, and when I first saw Mega Heracross, the first thing I thought was Game Freak wanted this thing to be a sub-puncher. I mean, look at these stats. It got a gigantic boost to attack. It got Skill Link for 2 very powerful moves, and they even gave it, like the move pool to abuse it. They gave it big buffs to defense and special defense, but they lowered its speed. And most people saw the lowered speed and they were like, well, why would I want to use this? I can use, if this thing's going to be a wall breaker with that amazing attack, I'll just run Guts Heracross. If it's going to be like a speedy thing, I'm just going to run regular Choice Scarf Moxie Heracross. Well, that's what Game Freak wanted to do. They wanted this to be a bulky sub-puncher. The sheer power of this thing with an adamant nature, its Focus Punch, its Pin Missile, and its Rock Blast are all incredibly powerful. Just to give you an idea of how strong Focus Punch is, Skarmory gets 2-hit KO'd. That's the defensive variant. Fortress gets 2-hit KO'd. The only thing that can really check this is Gliscor and Landorus. But if you're smart, if you're really smart, and you run Moxie on your regular Heracross and manage to get yourself a kill before Mega Evolving and get a Moxie boost, they can't even touch you. You're going to 2-hit KO or OHKO everything in the game after that, pretty much. There's nothing that will be able to withstand your assault with Focus Punch and Pin Missile being your super deadly stabs. I think Pin Missile gets like 190 some power after stab. Focus Punch is like a ridiculous 225, and Rock Blast is, without stabs, like 125. So it's it hits hard. It pretty much kills and maims everything. It's just a fantastic wall breaker, a fantastic bulky Focus Puncher. But that's pretty much the moves already explained. You want to run Substitute for sure if you're not familiar with how Focus Punch works. You need to be behind a sub, or you need to predict perfectly in order to use it. Thankfully, though, they gave Heracross a big buff to defenses. It's got a nice base HP to work with those too. We don't invest any in defenses, however, we invest it all into attack, adamant nature. We invest a big chunk into HP just to provide some extra substitute support here. You can come in on things like Fortress, like Ferrothorn, bulky walls and stuff. You can come in on those all day. Although it is recommended you have Wish Support and Volt Turning shenanigans to get this thing in safely, because it does not have leftovers. That is the one downside to using this set. It does not have leftovers, so you want something that can heal this up. Wish Passers, Blissey, whatever, Sylveon, pick your poison, and pass some wishes to this thing, or get it in safely with Volt Turn. The speed might seem kind of low, and you can run more, especially with defensive Rotom running around. You can take some out of HP, run enough to outspeed defensive Rotom, or even run enough to outspeed Jolly, Jolly Azumarill, because that's becoming a thing. You might want to run about 220 if you are going for that, so you can outspeed those defensive Rotom that run just enough to outspeed Jolly Azumarill. So that will hurt your bulk though. We have just enough in speed to outspeed any specially defensive Heatran that wants to invest those 8 speed EVs that Smogon recommends putting in like defense into speed. So that's why these EVs are kind of weird. This also outspeeds, you know, stuff like Scissor, stuff like Mega Scissor, which has like I think 186 speed after the Mega Evolution, and they don't tend to run too much speed. So yeah, but like I said, you can always sacrifice some bulk for some more speed if you really want to. It's up to you. It's up to you. But if you want, you probably should run this with Sticky Web support and some specialized EVs to outspeed certain threats. Sticky Web, T-Wave, you know, all that, and then come in with this late game and substitute up Focus Punch, Pin Missile, and Rock Blast everything into a Oblivion. Again, this is an incredibly powerful set. The only 2 things that really counter this are Landorus and Landorus T and Defensive Gliscor. Those are things to watch out for, so you want to run things that can check those things, like maybe a bulky Rest Talk Politoed or something. I don't know. Whatever you want to run to counter those things. Rotom Wash is also a good counter. Rest Talk, Rotom Wash. Whatever you want to do though. And but that will be the video, guys. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video though, please like it and give this set a try. It's pretty interesting, very, very, very powerful. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm out. Peace. Well, hello everyone and welcome to another moveset video. I'm your host, the Infamous BT, and if you guys can, please drop a like rating on this video, a thumb up. That would be phenomenal. But today we're covering one of my favorite new X and Y Pokemon because it's so badass. It's got a badass typing. It looks cool. It's called Pangoro. Look at this panda dude up here with his little like leaf out of his mouth like a cigar. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger with a cigar in his mouth, you know, a stogie. But maybe I'm grasping for straws there. But Pangoro is awesome. It may not be OU material, so if you use these sets, I actually have 2 sets for Pangoro. I'm just going to cover this one today. But I think it'll at least be UU, and I think it'll be pretty darn awesome. But this set is the first set I ever made for Pangoro, and it worked pretty darn well. I haven't used it since, but I imagine it still works pretty well, reasonably well. But let's go over it. First of all, it gets an amazing ability. It gets several good abilities, actually. It gets Scrappy, which hits ghost. You're able to hit ghost types with normal and fighting moves, which might seem kind of redundant because Pangoro does get Crunch. It does get the ability to hit those ghost types hard with a super effective move. But you'll see why we're not running it in a second. It also gets Iron Fist, which is amazing because it gets Hammer Arm and Sky Uppercut and stuff like that. And it also gets Mold Breaker, which, while not as good as these 2, I don't think for it, it's still useful. So yeah, but let's cover the EVs, and they're pretty simple. 252 in HP, 252 in Special Defense, and 4 in Defense with a Careful Nature. The reason we want that is because we're going to be running Bulk Up, and Bulk Up boosts our attack and defense, so we want to boost the defenses that aren't boosted by Bulk Up, which is Special Defense, so you can take special hits better while setting up. And yeah, but let's cover the moveset now. It's pretty simple, but pretty awesome in execution. You want to use this with hazards though, because, well, Circle Throw is the main move, the only attacking move on the set, and it is awesome. Basically, this acts as like Dragon Tail, and since you have Scrappy, it hits everything in the game. Stuff that resists it, stuff that is weak to it, stuff that 4 times resists it, it's going to hit it, and it's going to make it switch out. You have a 90% chance, 90% accuracy move here, 90% chance to switch them out and get hazard damage. So you want to run this Pangoro with hazards. Absolutely, positively. And if you have Sticky Web, that's also beneficial. You also want to run Sticky Web because Pangoro is mighty slow and you may want to get a rest off on something faster. So Sticky Web is highly recommended. Spikes, Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rock, as many hazards as you can get, stack them up. But what you want to do is you want to come in on a relatively weak special attacker, like maybe bulky Rotom or something, and then it doesn't matter if it burns you. You can bulk up on it, rest, sleep talk, and either get another bulk up or circle throw it. And you're pretty much going to keep doing that, shuffling the whole enemy team around, getting massive amounts of hazard damage, only switching out when something comes in that threatens you, like a flying, fighting, or fairy type Pokemon. Those are your 3 weaknesses. You got to watch out for those. But generally speaking, you're going to be able to circle throw most things out for good damage, get a lot of hazards, a lot of hazard damage stacked up on the enemy team, and allow for something to come in later and sweep or stall it out or whatever you want to do. This thing is surprisingly bulky. Base 95 HP isn't like super high, but it's high enough with a special defense investment to take on weaker special attackers and easily set up on them, rest, sleep talk, circle throw, etc. Critical hits will suck, but since they got nerfed this gen, it's not as bad as it seems. Like I said, now Pangoro is not like an OU monster. I don't think it'll even be OU. It does have a niche there, but generally speaking, I think this is going to be a UU Pokemon, and that's what this set is pretty much designed for. An OU set, I'll probably make one later. I have made a set that I've used in OU with specialized EVs, so we'll cover that in the future. But you know, for right now, this is a pretty awesome little set. You just gotta watch out for fairies, flying types, fighting types, which are relatively abundant in OU, so watch out for that. But just the fact that you can come in on something like I don't know, just a slower ghost type like Sableye or you know, Jellicent or something like that, Rotom Wash, and then switch it out with Circle Throw is pretty awesome. Not to mention that Circle Throw gets stronger with each bulk up you obtain, and once you get good enough in the defense department, you don't even have to worry about strong like fighting type moves. Maybe an Adaptability Lucario close combat, that might be an issue. But other than that, you're gonna be good to go. So yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's relatively simple set, but it's pretty cool. Pangoro is pretty awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, rating, and I will see you later. Peace out. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Pokemon moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous VT, and if you guys can, please like this video with a like rating. That would be awesome. Today we're covering Mega Medicham. Mega Medicham, it's kind of hard to say actually. Say that 3 times fast. Mega Medicham, Mega Medicham. Nope, I can't do it. Mega Medicham. This is an incredibly powerful Mega. First, let's go over its stats and why it's EV the way it is. Its stats that got the biggest boost were definitely attack and speed. With pure power and adamant nature, this thing hits, let's see, what is this math right here? That's about 656 attack without setup. So, in a word, that's like the strongest choice band Pokemon with the ability to switch moves. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. But yeah, so we want to invest all 252 EVs into attack. We also want adamant nature. You can run Jolly if you really want to, but I don't know. I don't think it's really worth it. I probably would just run Adamant to outspeed, you know, some of the more bulky walls like Rotom Wash and like Goodra, max speed Goodra, you know, Adamant Lucario, stuff like that as well. I don't know. I think just outspeeding timid base 80 Pokemon is probably the best you're gonna get out of the speed, because we do want a little bit of bulk, and I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, 196 in speed and then 60 in HP, because you know, HP is good to have in conjunction with Drain Punch. So not only that, but it did get a boost to defenses, a little bit of boost. You know, defense and special defense are now 206, base 85, so that is not bad. So that is not bad. I actually lived in I think an Adamant Mamoswine's Earthquake or something like that with this set. Barely, just barely, then I killed it with Drain Punch and got like all my health back. So yeah, a little bit of bulk is definitely not bad. Plus it'll help your substitute out if you decide to run substitute. But this set isn't set in stone. There are some changes you can make, and I'll go over those as I cover the moves. The first and most important move, what this set's named after, is Drain Punch. In my personal opinion, Drain Punch is essential in Mega Medicham. It helps you get all the health back that you lose from subs, pretty much. You can hit like a fully defensive Rotom Wash, just for example. Fully defensive Rotom Wash, it's a 2-hit KO on it. 2-hit KO. Like, freaking, you know, positive defense nature, 252 in HP. And, you know, defensive Rotom Wash is going around to check things like Azumarill and Talonflame and all that. So if you can weaken those and you have Azumarill and Talonflame on your team, you're probably going to end up sweeping something later on. Just the fact that Drain Punch can not only 2-hit KO things like that, but also get your health back is too good to pass up. Drain Punch for the win. I love Drain Punch. Run Drain Punch, it's fantastic. You can 2-hit KO pretty much anything that's weak to it and not a defensive behemoth. Hippowdon is like one of the main things that walls you, as does Skarmory, but it's a small price to pay for just, you know, life recovery and a stab move. So yeah, I would suggest running Drain Punch. Now Substitute it goes really well with Drain Punch actually. It blocks status like Burn, Paralysis, stuff like that we do not like. But if you don't want to run Sub, you can run High Jump Kick. High Jump Kick is incredibly powerful. It will shred anything that doesn't resist it and 2-hit KO things that probably do resist it. It is that powerful. It is incredibly scary. Problem is though, ghosts are about, and you do have the possibility of missing just on your own. That 90% accuracy is no bueno. You'll miss more often than you think. So it's up to you if you want to run it. I personally would. I see a lot of people running Bullet Punch on Mega Medicham, but Bullet Punch is just too weak. It doesn't really hit anything of note. I mean, it's priority, yeah, but 40 base power. I mean, fairies, there's not that many fairies that are fast and invest in speed. Most of them are defensive, like specially defensive, like Florges and Sylveon and stuff, and you'll do more damage with Psycho Cut anyway after stab, so there's really not a point. I would say just run, you know, High Jump Kick here or Substitute. Don't run Bullet Punch. Bullet Punch is meh. But yeah, it's up to you though what you want to run. If you want to be a pure wall breaker, run High Jump Kick. If you want to have some bulk and add some, you know, some mind games to your opponent, then do Substitute. Next though is Psycho Cut, another great stab move. You could run Zen Headbutt here as well. But that's 90% accuracy again is no bueno. I prefer Psycho Cut. It's 100% accurate. It has a chance to crit. It's a little bit weaker, but it's a small price to pay, I think, for a perfect accuracy move. And the third and final move is Ice Punch. Ice Punch gets past Gliscor, gets past Landorus T, gets past all these 4 times weak things to Ice and OU like Dragonite, Salamence, smacks around Goodra real hard. Pretty much just decimates anything weak to it, sans Hippowdon, but if Hippowdon is especially defensive, it's going to smack that around too. So yeah, Ice Punch is great. This set cannot touch Aegislash though, it really cannot. Aegislash resists or is immune to all the moves on this set. So you could, in theory, run Fire Punch. Fire Punch is something that you could totally do. I know it gets it, where is it? There it is. But you may have to predict around its King Shield, and that's something I wouldn't do. I would just probably switch out into your Aegislash check. That's something you really want on this team if you run Mega Medicham, is probably an Aegislash check. Talonflame and Azumarill, though, will have a field day after Mega Medicham, like breaks some walls down and 2-hit KO shit, and just hurt shit enough to where they can sweep. So yeah, I would highly recommend running those things with it. It's an incredibly dangerous threat. I haven't seen it that often in OU, but it's so scary that you have to take it into account as a dangerous thing, because this thing, like I said, has the power of a choice band with the ability to switch moves, and that in and of itself is horrifying. Just incredibly powerful. Like, I think this actually outdamages Choice Band Adamant Conkeldurr. I almost said Conkeldurr, and I don't think that's the right way to say it. But Conkeldurr, like base 135 attack, I think it has. Base 140, something like that. Base 140. So that should tell you the power of this thing. But yeah, that's the set, guys. Nothing too fancy, but Drain Punch and Substitute and High Jump Kick, all those moves are fantastic on this thing. Even stuff that resists it, like I said, will probably take an ass load of damage. So that's the set, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like rating. Go give this set a try. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please rate this video with a like rating. That would be awesome. Now, one thing I've noticed is that I've been doing mainly offensive sets, so I wanted to do a defensive set for a Mega, and this is actually a pretty darn fantastic physically defensive set. Of course, you can't wall things like Talonflame because of fire, but Mega Scizor is incredibly bulky. It got a huge buff to its defense and special defense mostly, and it also got a nice buff to speed, which doesn't really matter on this set, but still, you know, it's handy for just outspeeding slower walls and stuff. It got a nice boost to attack as well, but it's not as powerful as like a Life Orb or regular Choice Band Scizor, even if you invest it all the way into attack with like Adamant Nature. So Game Freak really wanted this to be like I think just a bulky sweeper or a bulky support Pokemon, and one of the best new moves to use to get rid of hazards is Defog, so I wanted to build a set around that. But let's go over the EVs. They're pretty simple. Max out HP, max out physical defense, and put 4 in special defense. If you want, you can also make this a mixed wall to better check special threats as well, and give this a careful nature. It'll even out its defenses nicely, but that base defense is just too good not to just take advantage of, in my opinion. You know, investing in special defense will help you live some HP fires and stuff, but you probably shouldn't be staying on HP fire anyway. You probably want to come in on physical threats, such as Terrakion and stuff. You can come in on a Scarf when it's close combat, no problem, and then threaten it out with Bullet Punch, or you can Defog or Roost or whatever. So the EVs are pretty simple, but we just maxed out defense, maxed out HP, and put some in special defense just to give it a little bit more special bulk. But the first move, and one of the most important moves on this set, which can be replaced, and I will talk about that in a second, is Defog. Now Defog is a move that now removes hazards from both sides of the field. This might seem like a counterproductive thing, and in some cases it is, but if you have a Talonflame on your team or something else weak to rocks like Volcarona, you probably want to get rocks off your side of the field at all costs, even if that means removing your rocks from the opponent's side of the field. Most of the defoggers in Gen 6 are unfortunately weak to rocks, which is the most popular entry hazard, like Mandibuzz and a lot of flying types actually. Scissor's one of the few that's not. And the fact that its Mega Form is so incredibly bulky, it's like a perfect fit for a supporting Defog set to get hazards off your side of the field, and you know, you're able to bring Talonflame in safely, Dragonite in safely, stuff like that. So good partners for this are definitely like Rotom Wash, which can Volt Switch, you know, maybe especially defensive Rotom Wash, or even physically defensive Rotom Wash to check Talonflame some more. Or Heatran even. Heatran's a great partner as well, resist the fire type attacks. Talonflame, Dragonite, stuff that does not want rocks on the field at any cost. Volcarona, all those things are great pairings to this particular Scizor set. If you already have a Defog user or you're not running that stuff though, you can do something a little different and run Swords Dance. And what this does, I actually just picked Tailwind, but you could run Swords Dance. What Swords Dance will do is Mega Scisor's attack is already really, really good. In fact, this is like as good as an invested bulky Scizor set from last generation, like an adamant bulky Scizor set from last generation. Except this actually, you know, gives you way more bulk because of the added defense and special defense and stuff. So you could totally run Swords Dance here if you don't need Defog support. I make this kind of like a bulky offensive tank, kind of like the Swords Dance set from the previous generation. But in general, I think if you're going to run a Swords Dance set, you should change the EVs to be more offensive with a lot of speed to outspeed stuff like Rotom Wash and such. But I mean, you can totally do this though, and you can change like U-turn to Bug Bite or something like that too if you're running Swords Dance. But for the sake of this video, I want to make this a defensive set, so I'm running Defog. Roost is your obvious next choice. It heals you up. You don't have Leftovers Recovery, which is a downside to this, but you'll usually find times in the match to Roost, especially if you come in on like a Terrakion. You're going to scare it out with Bullet Punch. Anything that's weak to Steel is going to get scared out, like Sylveon, Florges, Slurpuff, pretty much, you know, anything. Rock types also don't like it, like Mega Aerodactyl. So you can come in on those relatively easy. As long as they don't have like a random hidden Power Fire or random like Fire Punch move, you should be fine in all, you know, aspects. So Roost is there to heal you up. It's great. Use Roost. Next we have Bullet Punch, which is just there for priority. Even without investment, it reaches 336 attack, and you can actually take 4 out and put it in attack if you want to, make it 337. It's whatever you want to do. It really doesn't matter. Or you can take some out of defense and put it into attack as well if you want to hit some benchmarks, do some calcs, figure it out, you know. But Bullet Punch is great because it's priority, it gets a Technician boost, it's stab. What more can you ask for? Bullet Punch is pretty darn awesome. Next, though, we have U-Turn, and U-Turn is also pretty darn awesome because it gives you offensive momentum. You can Volt Switch, or not Volt Switch, U-Turn out into stuff like Rotom and do the whole Volt Turn shenanigans, which are incredibly annoying, but incredibly effective. And you can also get a relatively slow U-Turn off on something that's faster than you. You know you can take the hit, like maybe even Aegislash or something. You can U-Turn on it, predicting it to come in, and then switch out into a nice check, like a Volcarona or a Talonflame, as I said. So yeah, U-Turn's great. If you want to run something that will catch the opponent off guard, though, you can run a few different things. You can run Knockoff. Knockoff will take off the opponent's item. It doesn't get the Technician boost, unfortunately, but it's still a great move, especially to hit like incoming Aegislash and kind of neuter them, get rid of their leftovers or their weakness policy or their life orb. I'm not sure if weakness policy activates though, or even a balloon. I've seen balloon being carried by them, but I'm not sure if weakness policy activates on the hit you knock off or not. Somebody will have to test that. I don't know. You could also run Thief, which does get the Technician boost and got buffed this gen. It's way down here so you can't see it, but it's a 60 base power move, and with Technician that's 90. So I would probably recommend that on a more offensive scissor set. But Thief is definitely awesome this gen, especially with Technician. You won't steal an item though because like Scissorite is like locked into you. So yeah, that's a thing. But still, the power is great. You could also run Superpower if you really don't like Ferrothorn, especially ones with Rocky Helmet. You could like take a big chunk out of their health and stuff. And you can also replace like Bullet Punch with and keep U-Turn if you want, but I think Bullet Punch and U-Turn are just fantastic moves. Priority and then Switch Initiative are too good to pass up in my opinion. I just go with those, and yeah, you could also invest a little bit of speed, like enough speed to outspeed especially defensive Heatran and catch it with a Superpower on the Switch, which will 2-hit KO. But that's, I think it'll 2-hit KO. I'm not sure there. Probably will. But you could do that too. You have to do some calcs and see, you know, what kind of benchmarks you want to hit with these EVs in this set. But I think just a bulky Defog, like Roost, you know, Switch Initiative priority set is fantastic for this scissor. And yeah, you guys should definitely give it a try. It's definitely a great team supporter. Try it out with Talonflame, Rotom Wash, etc. And let me know how it goes. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another Pokemon moveset video. I'm your host, the infamous BT, and if you guys can, please rate this video with a like rating. That would be stupendous. That'd be awesome. Please do that. That would be great because we're knocking out the Megas. We only have 2 to go. So we're going to cover the other Mewtwo variant since I covered the Y variant a few days ago in a moveset video. And Mewtwo X. Mewtwo X is pretty darn awesome. I personally like it better than the Y version. The Y version's kind of like just like a specially bulky, faster, regular Mewtwo. But this is a totally different take on Mewtwo. This puts all of the boosted stats pretty much into attack, and I think a little bit into bulk as well. So you know, while not as especially bulky as Y, it gained a lot of physical bulk. Its as defenses are actually even at base 100, which are great even uninvested, and it's got a nice base 106 HP to work with. The EVs for this particular set are pretty simple though, and they can be tailored to your preference. I'm going to explain why I have them this way. This is the same Mewtwo that I used in the Uber session I did on my channel, the Mega Mewtwo X and Xerneas session. So if you want to, see this set in action, you can like check that out. Go search for it on my channel. Just type in like Xerneas and it should come up as like the first result or whatever. But yeah, Mega Mewtwo X is pretty darn awesome. It got a typing change as well to Psychic and Fighting, so it's no longer weak to Dark, which is nice. And because of that, we can run some specialized EVs to do some nice stuff. First and foremost, the one thing we want to do is, or one thing I want to do is put the speed at 385, Jolly Nature. We want 385 because one of two things is going to happen. If Darkrai comes in and it's not Scarfed, you're going to outspeed it and kill it with Drain Punch. Even if you're uninvested, just to show you how scary this thing's attack is, this is uninvested, and it matches a fully invested Conkeldurr, which is base 140. That is insane. This is the most ridiculous attack stats I've seen on an Uber. It's just ridiculous. Of course, there's, like Kyurem B and stuff, but Mega Mewtwo X, its attack stat is godly. Uninvested, it's 416. Just try to fathom that. That's amazing. But we have that speed just to outspeed unscarfed Darkrai. And if a Darkrai is scarfed and it has used Dark Void on something else, then you can take a Dark Pulse, no problem. And if Darkrai does flinch you, the Steadfast boost will boost your speed by 1. Because we have the specialized EV set, we will then outspeed the Darkrai the next turn and get off a Drain Punch and kill it, or we can just start setting up bulk ups or substitutes or whatever you want to do and just go from there. So that's why the speed is that. Next, we have invested 252 into HP because bulk is very important on the set, because we're going to be running a bulk up substitute type of set. I'm sure you've seen this on stuff like Gallade, which shares this typing, and it works phenomenal for it. So yeah, but yeah, 416 in attack, or not attack, excuse me, 416 in HP will give you some much needed bulk, and then the 40 left over you can either put in special defense or attack. It's up to you. The attack, of course, will get multiplied by bulk up, so that's a thing. But adding it to special defense will help you take some special hits a little bit better. Weak things will not be able to break your sub at all. Like, weak stuff like Blissey, like a Fortress Volt switching. I guess it wouldn't either if you, took these out and just put them in, or just left it like it was. Because base 100, like I said, is great even without investment. But I put a little bit in there just to add to the special bulk a little bit, in case the Darkrai gets a crit or something, or if something wants to Shadow Ball you as well. You can take it a little bit better and then Drain Punch and get more health back. Alternatively, you can totally just go full out offensive, run this thing jolly, and then add the remaining to HP. You could totally do that. This makes its attack 479, which is incredibly scary, honestly, but I kind of prefer bulk with this set in my personal opinion. Not to mention you're going to be substituting. You want to block status and stuff. If you were going full out offense, you might want to pick a different physical move. I don't even know what you'd pick. Maybe Ice Punch or something. Ice Punch gets good coverage. Fire Punch. Does Mewtwo get Fire Punch? I'm not sure. It does. So you can run Fire Punch there as well. Whatever you want to do. Totally up to you, but you have to watch out for burns and toxic and all that stuff. The stuff that can really wear you down. But yeah, our set is this though. And I'm going to go from there and talk about the moves now. First, to substitute, this blocks status. Of course, it's fantastic in conjunction with Drain Punch and Bulk Up. If you get behind a sub, Bulk Up, nothing can really touch you except strong special attackers. Or strong physical attackers. Stuff like Aegislash is a pain in the ass. So, You might want to drop a stab move for Fire Punch, but Aegislash isn't that popular in Ubers, I don't think. So you're good to just run 2 stab moves, in my opinion. Even though these moves are resisted, they're still going to hit everything hard. If something resists the combination of Psycho Cut and Drain Punch, it really does not matter after 1 bulk up, because you have like a 600 something attack stat. You can maim pretty much anything. Anything that comes in will get decimated. If it doesn't, keep bulking up, keep subbing, block status, and then Drain Punch your health back. It's beautiful. It's terrifying. It's freaking fast. It's powerful without investment. It's bulky. Mega Mewtwo X does not play around. Of course, you know what bulk up's there for. I just explained it, but I'll explain it again. It boosts your freaking attack and defense. Makes you a freaking fast, hard-hitting tank. You will be indestructible if you bulk up enough and just start wailing away on stuff. Even Scarf stuff, like Scarf stuff that has Outrage, after like 2 bulk ups, that's not even going to do 50%. And you're going to kill it with Drain Punch or Psycho Cut or whatever. Like I said, you can run like Fire Punch or Ice Punch or whatever you want to run over Psycho Cut if you really want to. But I think the stab is great, especially for stuff like Arceus Poison, which I'm not sure if that's common in Ubers, but it is a thing. And Psycho Cut lets you get by that relatively easy. It also prevents it from like setting up in your face with Calm Minds and Judgments and stuff. And of course, you can block its Will-O-Wisp with the substitute, so that's a thing too. But yeah, this Mega Mewtwo X is amazing. I prefer it over the Y version. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, but I would say give this set a try. And like I said, you can customize the EVs to your fitting, but I really, really, really like this moveset. I think this moveset is fantastic, and it's just bulky, it hits hard, it's terrifying, honestly. I really like Mega Mewtwo X. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like rating, and I will see you later. Peace out. Ho, 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 happy holidays, and welcome to a moveset video. The perfect gift this Christmas is a moveset video for the Pokemon that embodies Christmas and Santa and birds and bad typings. It's Delibird. Look at this thing. Isn't it cool? I mean, look at these stats. They're almost uber material, but thankfully they're just low enough to allow Delibird to you know, be in the lower tiers, the OUs, the NUs, the PUs, the whatever, RUs. Delibird is a monster with this set, and I'm not joking. Okay, maybe I'm joking a little bit, but this is the most usable set you're gonna get. But keep in mind, if you use this on your team on Christmas, on Showdown tomorrow, or in a Wi-Fi battle, you're essentially saying, hey man, Merry Christmas, here's a gift. I'm using one of the worst Pokemon in the game. And they'll be like, dude, thanks, you really helped me with my Christmas spirit. I was Scroogey and angry and greedy, and now I'm not. I'm gonna use a Delibird too. It's gonna spread like wildfire, or like herpes, or some other terrible thing. But anyway, let's go over the moveset here with Mr. Delibird. In fact, let's actually nickname this, make it appropriate. There we go. Okay, so what we have is Delibird, and this has 252 in attack, 252 in speed, and 4 in special defense with a jolly nature. We want a jolly nature because Delibird's best speed, or best stat, is speed. And speed is pretty much its only thing it's got going for it, and even then it's not that good. So we want to maximize it so we can outspeed stuff like Jolly Tyrantrum, Modest Kingdra, you know, a bulky Rotom Wash that invests in speed, Breloom, even though Breloom's gonna annihilate us with Mach Punch anyway, so it doesn't matter. Stuff like that. So we want max speed, put it all in speed, just to tie with other Delibird or other stuff with base 75 speed. I think Heracross, like Mega Heracross, has that too. I'm not sure. Hang on, it's right here. Yeah, it's 75. So if you want to tie with Mega Heracross, then invest it all in speed. Then we have 4 in special defense, so Genesect does not get a special attack boost and will instead get an attack boost and will be forced to either U-turn or Iron Head. If you have a Heatran on your team, you should switch that in then, because Delibird's not taking anything from Genesect, boosted or unboosted. It's going to die in one hit, so get the hell out of there. Might as well take an unboosted U-turn for your troubles on Heatran. Okay, yeah, we have attack maximized as well, because this is a choice band set. Delibird is hustling with this. Look at this ability. This is actually a good ability. Well, kinda. It's risk versus reward. You get a choice band boost, but your accuracy is 80%. So, you know, this would be a great ability to have if Delibird had more than a base 55 attack. But since it doesn't, we have to also slap on a choice band. Now, just to show you the power of choice band and hustle together, this is the equivalent to a Swords Dance boost right off the bat. Unfortunately, even with a Swords Dance boost, Delibird only barely out-damages an Adamant Conkeldurr with nothing on it. So, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's go over the moves now. Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace will never miss. It's a good pairing with Hustle. Hustle causes you to miss more than Jenna Jameson misses the dick. And that doesn't even really make sense. But Hustle Hustle makes you miss. You're going to miss with Hustle, unfortunately. Aerial Ace does not miss. It's a good move. Use it on Delibird. Next, we have Ice Punch, because Ice Punch is powerful. Well, relatively powerful. And coming off a 400-something attack, it's going to hurt something if it's not defensive. It might hurt it. It might 2-hit KO something. Who knows? Next, we have Ice Shard, which is great priority. It allows you to maybe OHKO Garchomp, maybe OHKO a Salamence or something after rocks. Probably won't OHKO much else, but if there's something 4 times weak to ice and it's faster than you, then use Ice Shard. Simple as that. The final move on this set is probably the best move in the game. It's Present. Now, this either does 40, 80, or 120 damage, or it just flat out heals the target by 1/4 of its max HP. But most of the time with Hustle, you're probably going to end up missing, since this is a 90 accuracy move. So, you know, Santa's drunk this year, kids. he can't hit the houses properly and drop you presents down the chimney. Sorry. That's just what Delibird does. He don't give a shit. All right. But if you don't want to run Present, if you don't feel like being a total troll and you want this to be actually a competitive moveset, you can run Focus Punch or something and predict something to come in. You can run Brick Break, which I think is its most powerful move outside of that, or most powerful fighting move, that is, outside of Focus Punch. You can run Destiny Bond in case you just know you're going to die and you can take something with you so Delibird's not completely useless. Or you can run my personal favorite alternate move in, where is it? I know it's here. Wait. Well, it's Rapid Spin. There it is. Duh. What the hell? How'd I miss that? It's Rapid Spin. Delibird has the honor of being the worst Rapid Spinner in the game because it is 4 times weak to Stealth Rock. You bring this thing in, it's going to be at 51% health. And nothing strikes fear into the hearts of children everywhere than a Choice Banded Hustle Rapid Spin, which has the chance to miss. So, any of those moves will be great. You could run Avalanche, but, you know, again, if you take one hit with this thing, it's going to, like, die a million times over. And it'll always make you go last, I'm pretty sure. So you don't want to do that. But, you know, you could also run like Seed Bomb if you want to hurt like a, I don't know, Swampert really bad. It's about all you're going to hit with it. And Freeze Dry is an option with that terrible special attack to make water types laugh at you. I don't think it really gets anything else. It gets Swagger. You can run like a Hustle Swagger set. I don't know why you would. Hell, you can even run Thief. Make Delibird steal something. Only it's got a choice band, so it can't. And Santa doesn't steal. That's bad mojo. You could also run Spikes. In fact, you can't miss Spikes. So if you want to run Spikes and then, like, you know, Rapid Spin or something up here, you can be kind of like a support thing. Whatever you want to do. But that's going to be the moveset, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like rating. Give Delibird a try. It is Christmas. In the spirit of Christmas, give this thing a try. And I hope you guys have a happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever, Festivus. Whatever you want to celebrate, hope you have a good one. I'm out. Peace.